We are back, everyone, for episode 40 of the Quarantine Cast on Beyond the Brick. I'm Joshua Hinlin, and today I've got Kirk Wilson, Brian Saviano, and Mike from the Cool Factor with me to rank some of our favorite LEGO themes. So Brian has prepared a nice little tier list for us today to get our thoughts on some favorite LEGO themes. Is that right, Brian?
It's not little.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I underestimated how long this will be.
No, it's not little.
So are we diving into the really unknown themes then? Is this going to be in depth?
So I went through and got a bunch of different LEGO themes that are current and from the past. It includes, I believe, 80 different LEGO themes throughout the years, and we're going to be ranking them via various ranks, all the way from a passing grade to a failing grade to wanting to wipe it from history. And hopefully there's enough controversial and polarizing opinions in the live stream chat as well as in this room to warrant some good discussion. You better put Galador in the highest rank. Well, I ended up putting together, a list of all the ones that at least I knew of and that people would love as well. And this tier maker is something that people actually do on videos and live streams and whatnot all the time. And it is something that you can do for yourself. So if you go to tiermaker.com, you can actually see the tier maker itself. And I made the whole entire thing from scratch. I did all the graphics for it, and I think it looks pretty good. I have it linked in the chat right here, and I'm going to be showing it on screen in just a moment. It's pretty in-depth, so we could be here a while. We could be here a short little while. We shall see. So if you want to share my screen, John, I got it right here. So you can see a bit of what this all is, okay?
Real quick, I just want to say how excited I am for this. I've seen a lot of videos that gamers and different people have done with these tier lists. I've never done one myself, so this is a first for me, so thanks for putting this together. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is basically like what we did before with the LEGO Ideas vote, except we're actually ranking them among other LEGO themes as well. And I thought this would be fantastic content for the Quarantine Cast, and especially if other people show up out of the blue and want to give their opinions and everything else. So our ranking levels are Hall of Fame, A, B, C, D, and wipe these from memory.
You can just put Mario in the red one already.
Okay, so I'm going to keep my biases aside, okay? So what we have down here is not every single LEGO theme ever, because there's a lot. And there's also caveats of do you do LEGO Marvel superheroes, but then do you do Spider-Man as its own separate thing? Do you do Batman separately from DC? None of that nonsense. So we have LEGO Marvel superheroes, DC superheroes. We're not divvying up Star Wars or there is a Disney category in Toy Story. So some of the more notable themes will end up being showcased here, but this is still not every single LEGO theme ever. It is a vast majority of them, and it is the most comprehensive LEGO tier list on the website, and you are more than welcome to use this for yourself, for your own videos, your own content, whatever. You want to toss a shout out to myself or Beyond the Brick, go for it, but I don't really care. It's an open resource for anyone to use if they would like to. So it's in alphabetical order until the very end, where I added a couple this afternoon. So it goes from video all the way back to classic space. So we got new stuff in here, old stuff in here. We're going to put Bionicle and wipe from memory. Any objections? Excellent. We can move on.
Yes.
We can move on.
Chat is building trenches right now and barbed wire.
Alienating people. I love it. Just right off the bat.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we can finish. We're done here. We're done.
Yeah. So, I mean, we don't have to do that, but we can leave this off. We can toss this.
Can we just leave that towards the end so we?
Yeah.
Oh, someone noticed you don't have architecture in there, LEGO.
I do have architecture actually. I didn't add it to the list. Okay. Well, no, I have the image. I just didn't import it into here. Okay. So. Do you care that passionately about architecture that you want?
No, I'm just reading a message from the chat.
I am very passionate about architecture.
I think it should be added.
John, hold on, John. Give me the full screen. there's a lot of children in this live stream right now that are going to say, Mr. O'Brien, you don't have my Lego theme from 1987 that isn't featured on this list. And you know what I'm going to say? I spent 4 hours putting all these images together, trying to get the most, opinionated and beloved Lego themes. And if I don't see your one little Lego theme, let me apologize right here, right now. And guess what? I don't really care. We're ranking 80 of them. It's going to take 17 hours to do this in itself. All right. So relax.
Impromptu 48-hour stream. Charity,
no.
Anyone? No.
I'll just throw architecture in at the end then, so I can rank it myself.
Yeah, whatever. So I had the image. I can edit this afterward. But for the sake of this live stream, we have 80 here. Be satisfied, chat. Okay. There we go. I even went like to Fabuland because I know someone like Flynn or someone's gonna be like, "Oh, Mr. Saviano, there's no Fabuland here." Like, okay, so there's that. I put Speed Racer in here because Jeff told me to do that.
Speed Racer? What? You've left off architecture, which has been a mainstay for like a decade.
This is what I'm. Listen, I made I literally made the image. It's around here somewhere. Okay, so there's all sorts of ones here.
No, I'll stop complaining. I know you put time in, so let's do it. I'm excited.
Thank you, Josh.
No, I mean, I like Salty Brian. Should complain all the time.
No, don't, because then I'll actually stop doing videos. So which one do you want to start with?
Don't promise.
Over here.
Why don't we just go in? You just want to go in order, like from top left, and just go down?
Feel like you're not like you're gonna be like, well, actually, after a while, like what? Okay, so I divvied up the creator thing. I missed a couple images here, but whatever. There's modulars. Where are we putting modulars?
Wait, scroll up to the tier. I mean, that's at least an A for me. But go ahead.
Yeah,
but did you split like creator expert and modulars? And
so what I did, and I guess that image didn't go through either, was I divvied up the cars from the modulars.
Gotcha.
I also did this at like 3 a.m. So.
Oh, well, that explains a lot then.
Yeah, that does.
Modulars. I mean, come on.
I would say it deserves A. I mean, the detail and everything.
I mean, come on, guys. Like, just theme-wise, like, if you take the whole thing into one single picture, an A, easy.
Hey, at least give me some credit that I divvied up like the Lego Batman movie from Lego Ninjago movie.
Yeah.
I'm
Brian,
gonna give you credit after I get my coffee. That's all.
Did you have any parameters in mind, Brian, in terms of like what makes like something like what makes an A versus like a Hall of Fame? Because I feel like some of that's going to be hard. Is there anything that you have in mind in terms of like what really we should be thinking of that would put something over the top?
I would say Modulars is actually Hall of Fame only because like the all of the sets in that parameter are like consistently excellent, and they are consistently better than most other offerings from Lego themes.
I mean, I can get on board with that for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would. I mean, it's a high A or Hall. I think say Hall of Fame.
If there's like a worse set, like people say, oh, the corner garage wasn't that good,
but it's still better than most other Lego sets.
Exactly. In the grand scheme of things, like if you compare it to everything else, it's still like A tier, right?
Right. I am putting this link in the chat once again because people are like, where is it? See, this is you should see this Photoshop document. It's literally like 400 megabytes. There's so many.
Oh my God.
I didn't organize it at all. So.
Thank you for your work, Brian.
Yeah, you're welcome. So if anyone else wants to complain, air your grievances. Let's see. What else we got? Also for, do we want to move this to Hall of Fame? We'll leave it A.
Maybe not yet. We'll see what else is there. Yeah.
I would also put in A minifigures, the CMFs.
Yeah, the amount of like detail and everything that goes into those minifigures for each series is pretty good. So I think that deserves an A.
I think you also have to think about factors like how long they've been around. I mean, minifigures has been a 10+ series now with just like tons of series and just a wide variety. I think same thing with Modern for a number of years. I think factors like that also make a difference as well. So I think A is definitely. I mean, the amount of incredible minifigures we've gotten from that series from the theme.
I want to give myself credit for using this specific image for Chima. I'm not putting it in B, but if you look at this image, it's like the anguish face.
He looks like he belongs in D. He like looks like he wants D. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, no, not in
No,
D.
like that B. I don't like the letter B. D is the sponsor of this one.
Are you wanting to put that in D, Brian? Do you feel like it's that low?
No, I feel like for the way the sets were designed, it's at least like a C. I don't think.
I would
Okay,
say
I
C.
kind of like the minifigures, kind of.
Well, minifigures with the headpieces, but the standard figures,
Yeah.
like they're not that great. Like it's designed to have the headpiece on.
Mhm.
Kirk, what do you think?
My vote is for D. Still stays at D.
I didn't really have much experience with Chima, but I guess based on what I've seen and the little experience that I have had with it, I think it should go in C.
We'll put it in C for now.
Yeah.
Let's go with.
You
know
just
what?
like
So are you
nitpicking them, or
You just pulling them from like random, Brian? Just
Yeah,
does that
I mean,
any
if y'all
pattern?
feel passionately about one of them, just voice it.
just pull them out, and then we'll just kind
Galidor.
of throw out our thoughts.
Galidor.
Okay. I really like the newest and all of the new Harry Potter stuff.
So I think
Harry Potter is an A for me.
I think all those sets are consistently very good.
But like everything, this current Harry Potter and past Harry Potter,
Yes.
I think even that the current one is even better.
Okay, so far we have no objections from chat, by the way. So if you have any grievances, you can air them. All right.
Well, we're open to thoughts. I mean, we won't change our.
We also
our
have moderators,
votes,
by the way, so...
Right. No one's gotten mad yet.
Harry Potter for me on like a personal level is like a C. I've never really cared much about it, but for what it's done for Lego as a theme and how much people love it, I think an A is the correct choice.
Yeah.
So, you know what, because chat is asking A or Hall of Fame. How about we put the ones we really like in A and then decide through the A road to go into Hall of Fame?
What goes in the Hall of Fame?
Harry Potter is not Hall of Fame. No way.
Okay, we can get there, Joshua. All right. All right. So who's asking? Mythic Bricks is asking Lord of the Rings. So I could I have put Hobbit and Lord of the Rings separately? I could have, but I just didn't for the sake of it. Lord of the Rings. I don't have any of the sets. But
neither do I.
I feel like there was still. You know what? I think Dan might stop by later. We'll wait for him on that one.
I got several of those sets. They were good. I would say that's a B. There was nothing like really like incredible in there,
no
but there was some cool. There was definitely some cool sets. And then we got some castle type stuff with some of those sets that was nice.
I'll put it in
for
B.
me, that's a B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the books, love the movies, but I didn't have connection to the Lego theme at all.
Right. Let's get one of these that I would kind of feel wiped from memory. Angry Birds. I don't like this. I remember working at the Lego store and unboxing these and being like, "Get this away from me."
That was like, how many sets were there? Like
Too many. Too many.
I can't remember, and I also forgot that was
I
a
have
theme.
no idea.
So it's already
memory
been
for
wiped
sure.
from memory.
I can wipe these. There is no recollection of me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I saw the collection of these, like complete collection of minifigures, but forgettable, I guess.
Yeah, like I forgot about it until I just saw the image just now, so it's already been wiped from my memory.
I don't even. I still am stunned they did that. I remember thinking when they announced that theme, like, who is interested in this?
That was
Lego Angry
I'm
Birds.
afraid that was a cash grab.
Yeah, I think it was because of that, and also at the time, I guess the game was still somewhat popular, so they were like, okay, let's try this out.
It wasn't even popular when the movie came out. Like they started development on the movie, like as it was still popular, but then by the time it came out, it was like, all right.
Oh, you're right. Because sets do take like time to develop.
Right. I did split up the modulars from Creator 3-in-1. Any opinions on 3-in-1?
But 3-in-1 buildings on 3-in-1 everything.
3-in-1 everything.
So
that's a B for me. A B.
I've had quite a bit of experience with the 3-in-1 sets growing up. I can say that some of them are good, and then there are some that are just like all right.
I like the amusement park ones. They're very cool.
I say personally, in my opinion, I think it goes probably in B.
Yeah, I think solid B. Bricks Galore said solid B. I think so.
I was going to say B as well. I think
they were
you gotta
great for
factor
Lego
in
Cities.
how accessible those sets are as well to kind of non-fans coming into Lego. That's a really great theme that gets a lot of people kind of building and trying out different techniques. So there's a really good accessibility factor there.
And they're growing in quality, I think, with the pirate ship, for example, and
Mhm.
you know,
Even with some of the space stuff, it's been pretty good.
there's a pretty wide theme, pretty diversified.
Yeah.
Let's get one of these newer ones out of the way. I think I'm the only one that can kind of speak on this right now. Technically, video.
Whatever you want to
know.
put this in.
Yeah, like we don't even know. They're not on sale yet, technically.
Yeah, I added this for future proofing, but I think
Right
that
now,
might be
like
that
we
might
would
be the
have-
first D. Well, but the minifigures are great.
I would put them in
Put it
C
in
just
C.
because we don't know. It's like an average. We
Is
don't
it that
know.
bad that you would put it in D, Brian? I guess I didn't think you
Only-
were that
only-
negative on it.
But you said you love the minifigures.
The minifigures are great, but the builds are not. There's no buildings. Like there's no stages.
Yeah, we have
like,
to look at the general
yeah.
picture here.
If there was going to be Wave 2 with like a stage setup and whatnot, like that might be different. But we don't know anything as of right now. But the minifigures are awesome. But the
So, yeah,
price
and-
point
and
on
the-
those $20 boxes are not
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
And they're not on sale yet, so we don't know how the how people will react, how the market
Right.
will.
So
will verify
we'll
it.
just put it in C for now, or I can put it wipe from memory, or take it off the list, whatever.
Yeah.
How about let's go with any I want to hear from like what are your guys' favorite themes that you're seeing on here that you want to advocate
Lego
for?
ideas.
Okay. That's like that to
big
me
one
is
for
like
me.
another obvious Hall of Fame, but we'll put it in A for now.
It's
Okay.
A or Hall of Fame for me right now, especially as I don't like the communication. I don't like the way they try to accommodate larger amounts of projects right now. But the sets themselves, amazing.
Yeah.
A for amazing.
So far, I'm seeing no objections from chat really on anything, which is great. I like this. That
We
means
just
we're in
have a very
touch.
civilized chat.
Yes, they have good taste.
How about Pirates of the Caribbean? We can.
Okay, so I don't have any of these sets except for the Silent Mary, which I'm actually looking to sell off if anyone wants to buy it. Thank you. But I don't have any other ones, so I don't have any.
Same
I
here.
got-
I
I
don't have
don't-
the Silent Mary.
I
I
got
don't
a
have any
number of.
experience.
I got a number of these sets. I thought they were fantastic. I think the ships were really amazing. I think the minifigures we got out of this, which was like colonial era minifigures that are very unique, minifigure designs that no other theme has really given us much of. This to me is a definite B. I don't think it's high enough for an A, but I would definite B for me.
I would give it a B just for the Silent Mary. I
Yeah,
love
I'm
this
seeing-
set.
Yeah, the ship that
Silent-
came out of it.
I did not like the Silent Mary at all, Mike.
And we had the
The Black Pearl.
The,
Black
Queen's
Pearl.
End Revenge, the Black
Black-
Pearl, so many
yeah.
great.
We'll put
Yeah,
that as
solid
a solid
B for
B.
the ships. For the ships alone.
Okay. Let's go with Monkey Kid. I like it. I like the theme a lot. I just don't know of any of the media associated with it. But the sets are great.
I mean, I love the art style of the cartoon.
I've never built a Monkey Kid set, so I
They're really
have no
great,
idea.
Joshua. They're great.
They're fun. They're like a twist on like Ninjago meets kind of, I don't know, video.
Yeah, I mean the quality of them look pretty good. So
No, they're like Nexo Knights with Ninjago or something along those ways. Like,
This one's a little divisive. Some people saying A, B, C.
It's not A. It's too you can't
I
have
would
a
tell
theme this
B.
recent.
I would
I
say
would
A.
say put B
A solid B.
because there are like a lot of sets in the first wave that I
Solid
do
B.
like the style of them, especially like the Monkey
Mythic-
King thing.
Mythic said Monkey Kid isn't unique enough from Ninjago. That's wrong. It absolutely is. 100%.
It's unique. It's inspired because the designer of Monkey Kid worked on Ninjago. Remember that? So it's inspired heavily.
Go back real quick and highlight John Joseph Sawada's comment. That's a really important factor, I think, to me, is if you put something in A or Hall of Fame, it's got to be more than just kind of impressive sets. It's got to have a history and like those other factors that come into it that has
Yeah.
kind of a proven reliability over several years. So I think
Monkey
that's a
Kid
really
is
good
fresh.
point.
It's too new to be A.
Right.
Mhm.
Speaking of too new, what about Lego art?
I can't
I
relate,
say-
honestly.
I say B. It still
Really?
feels kind of.
That's
I
a
say
C for me.
I feel like the some of the sets are pretty good, but I don't think it's good enough to go into A just yet. I'm kind of curious to see like what else comes out of it. So I say, in my opinion, B.
I say C, just because
C for me.
It's new, but it's just display.
That is true.
The building experience is unlike anything else Lego has ever done. And I'll tell you, I don't think any of you have done it yet, but if you remove all of those 1x1s off of those plates, it is torture. Even with the
Oh,
fixed
no.
separator, it's torture.
I did it. I did it because was like, I want to change the color from the pink to the yellow, and I spent an entire day, like several hours doing it, and then reassembling it. It's
Torture.
a pain.
So there is a C.
Brian, why doesn't the thick separator have its own image?
We need a
should have
thicker
its
brick
own
separator for that one. We need like a
Some people were
the
saying
entire row at once.
You're saying like where's Speed Champions? That's another one that I forgot. Like I made the image for it, but it didn't export when I was doing it in Photoshop. So like even at the very end, I could like do a whole like the ones.
Yeah,
I
we
forgot.
can't omit Speed Champions for sure.
I know. Yeah, that one is important enough. But for right now, we still have 75 other ones to go.
Okay, we're gonna
So,
come back to the missing one at the end.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
What about? Let's see.
What about agents? Agents was that's something I had kind of growing up when I was younger. I thought that was a really fun theme. I mean, nothing like super groundbreaking or anything with the kits, but it was just a fun, like, spy, secret agent type of theme that I think really appealed to kids for sure. To me, that's a B theme, but that might be more my nostalgia talking than anything else.
For me,
I
that's
have
Dark
nothing.
Age. I only had 2 sets in hands from that theme, the boat and I think the big truck. And I like these. I think they were pretty darn cool. But for me, it's a Dark Age theme, so I have no relation to it.
This one's a little divisive. People saying B, C, or D.
It was
Okay.
definitely aimed more at kids. So
Did
yeah,
it, did it make history with your opinion, Joshua? Did it make history?
I don't know, Brian.
Like-
Did you ever get any of those sets?
That was one theme when working at the store. I was just like, nah, I can't do it.
Gotcha.
It's
So
not
I
a
think
set
that
I
justifies
very
a
much.
C for Brian and me. Joshua is more like a B or A. No, B.
No, not an A. It's definitely
B,
not
B,
an A, but
B, B.
I would say a B for me.
So we have 2 C's, a B. Kirk, what about you?
I don't have any relation to the theme, so I can't really give any like thoughts on it. So I
I
guess wherever
think-
you guys are willing to put it at.
Yeah, Chad is aiming a little bit lower. I'll put it in C for now.
Okay.
That's fine.
And-
I
and
can live with that.
As we add more of these, we'll get a gauge for like, oh, this is more solidly a C. This should go up or down or otherwise,
Because we can always go back and adjust it.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna probably adjust it at the end.
Let's pay homage to a great theme that was gone too soon. Hidden Side, where we put this one might be a little divisive.
Okay. I say Hidden Side should go
I love these sets.
C. I think
I like them.
See?
I mean, I like them.
Out
I-
of your
no.
mind, Kurt.
No. Here's the thing. Let me explain. I like the sets a lot. I a lot, but I don't feel like it needs to go. I don't agree with A, like someone just said in chat. I don't think it goes in A. Maybe a B. Maybe if I'm being fair, maybe a B. But I do think the quality of the sets, like especially the what was it? The school, I think it was. There was a school. You had the school bus.
Like,
then
we
some
had
of
the castle, the light
Yeah.
was the castle and the fire truck. Those were cool.
So like it has its own unique style, which I do love the style of them. So I think maybe put it in B for now.
I would
And I
give it
think-
a B for the innovation and the freshness.
The only thing that I didn't like that
Yeah.
much was just like the box art. It made it very difficult to, I guess, identify it as a Lego set. That's like one of the things I didn't like.
Let's just go based with the sets, the products themselves.
Just the product itself. Then I would go with B.
But think
Over
about
C.
it. Hidden Side open the pathway to Lego AR. Kind of. With the app and
But-
scanning.
Wait, no,
Stupid.
didn't that start with like Ultra Agents or something like that? Because then they start using the sort of not really AR, but like the whole scanning thing. I think there was a thing with that.
But like this time you had like 3D models in an
Yeah,
AR
that's true.
space, you know. So I would say like Hidden Side laid the groundwork for like Mario or
Hold on, wait. Dan says between the bricks says you guys need some balance on the team. Brian is biased. Well, get in here. I don't. What do you want me to say? Get in.
I've
We're
never
waiting
built
on-
a Hidden Side set, so this theme never super appealed to me. I do agree that
Yeah.
the technology side of it was always interesting, but the sets themselves never really
I
did
feel
much for
like-
me.
I would probably have a stronger opinion if I had built the sets, but I too have not built the sets. I'm just going based on what I've seen and like I guess like
Mythic Bricks
instructions
says
and
Lego
stuff.
has done AR way before Hidden Side. Yeah, like you had Lego stores with like a giant camera in the Lego store. You can scan yourself and look at yourself in the video. Yeah, that was AR. But I think mass market and trying to innovate with the sets and physical builds, like Hidden Side
Wasn't there?
was
Wait, no.
groundbreaking.
There was wasn't there like Lego Fusion or something? Does anyone remember that?
Yeah. I don't know. The most AR I remember is those like Lego store installations when you had the screen and the camera, you were standing in front of it and you were scanning yourself. So that was like a big AR push for like Lego store experience. I remember that.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything made as much as Hidden Side for that technology.
Let's take a look at a fallen soldier, Hero Factory. Where are we putting this man?
D.
Okay.
For me, it's a wipe.
D or wipe from memory?
For me, it's a wipe. I have no clue what it is actually.
I managed to build, I think, 2 different Hero Factory sets. One was the Furno mech with like the blade, and the other one was the one from Brain Attack with the blue dragon. I can't remember the name of it. I had those sets. I enjoyed them for the most part. Like, I mean, for what it was, I was younger at the time. But
Lego David said Hero Factory B. Can we get a ban for Lego David?
Yeah, it's not a B. It's not a B. I think probably just wipe it from memory. Like it doesn't hold on too much for me.
Yeah,
like,
I think
to be
we're getting
honest.
a lot of kids mad right now because we're like boomers, AFOS, just like trying to
Like,
judge their own
it
beloved
even-
like childhood themes, and we're like being hated on right now.
Yeah, like I remember building like 1 or 2 of them, but until now, like it's one of those things that I just kind of forgot.
So like people say it was underrated. What was appealing about Hero Factory that you can justify right now? If like I say I never was into the D, never really knew what it was. Like what could you sell? How could you sell it to me right now?
Well, and what was appealing from Hero Factory that Bionicle didn't do? Like, because Bionicle is what Hero Factory
The
like
story
evolved
was
into,
great.
or whatever.
They say the story was great.
No,
Yeah, but
we're
like,
not
say-
talking
say
about
like-
the story. We're talking about the sets.
Yeah, like AFOL 2021. I'm an AFOL. I'm a boomer AFOL. How could you sell it to me right today?
Right. I'm a boomer AFOL.
Yes.
It's a
I'm
Hero
proud of it.
Factory. Hero Factory was a perfect sandbox theme. We're playing with plastic toys in rooms. What is
The whole Lego is sandbox. Come on.
technically true?
You buy a 3-in-1 creator set, it's a full-on sandbox. You can do whatever you want with it.
Just Too Good is too busy being with his girlfriend to rank Paradisa, so we're gonna put it in D.
Hey, I actually like
Paradisa is
Paradisa. I
not
actually
D.
remember those. I like
It's
those.
so
Come
unique.
on.
You've got to give it. It's at least I would give it a C. I mean, it at least brought some very unique pieces, something different to the table.
I
would give that a C.
I'm with Joshua on C. I like these.
Really?
I actually like these. I remember those. Hey, come on, me, the boomer. I remember those.
A lot of people saying white, but I think they're just saying that because it's all pink and white and whatever.
It's a precursor to Friends. Come on.
You've got to appreciate a theme that does something different. That to me is worth something for sure.
I mean, look at the colors. They had those cool island base plates. There was a lot of cool going on. I like this. I remember when I was a kid, like a friendly family. They had 3 girls, I believe, and we were really friends with them. And they were playing with Paradisa a lot. They had like the full collection, and I would visit them a lot. And I just liked those sets as a kid. I never had those, but I remember like enjoying these quite a bit.
All right, so we're definitely not wiping it because this chat is saying wipe. No,
no.
Let's go. Let's do my sweet beautiful boy. Obviously, I'm biased, but I'm more.
Can we mute Brian for 5 minutes?
Wipe from memory.
Shut
Wipe
up,
from-
Kirk.
Right from memory, like
If you wipe Lego Mario from memory, that's basically wiping me off the face of the planet.
That is
Unless you want
true.
that.
That is
You might
true.
as well get
No,
rid
I'm
of
I'm
it.
in
kidding.
black this week, like right now.
I think
I think it's B because of the technology aspect, and it's unique,
Wow.
and it's very colorful. And
I'm so proud of you, Brian.
I was gonna say B as well.
Yeah.
I think it could move up in the future if we get like a Peach's Castle or something that's more like amazing.
The
you
NES,
do have the NES.
there's a lot of people in this chat that I'm going to ban right now because y'all are saying C or D. You're clearly Fairweather fans around here, and you don't know me, okay? Lego Mario is my child, and you're all getting banned, all right?
No,
Being someone who's like had experience building the sets, like in a bunch of them, I think it deserves a B. Like in terms of like the concept of everything, I like the concept. I think that it works pretty well. Now, app-wise or whatever, it might have whatever things that okay, it's like you might not care for it as much later down the line, but I do think that it deserves a B, for at least for the concept and the interaction of everything.
And just to let chat
can you
know
look him
that
in
I'm not-
the can you
just
look
let-
him in the eyes and say wipe? Can you just do it?
No.
Can you truly look this guy in the eyes and say wipe? How could you? Look at him. He wants B or like an A maybe. I don't know.
And just so chat knows, Mythic Brick said that Mario was hot garbage, and I timed him out. Who's next? Who's next?
Come at me, bro.
I'm happy. All right, we're putting it in
No.
B.
I think just for this guy alone, the technology within this little box of plastic, yeah, B, a solid B.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with.
What about a cat? Have we done any castle themes yet? What castle themes do you have?
Yeah.
So Castle got. So I was working with Jeff on this last night because he's the advocator for all things old in Lego, and it was tough getting down like castle sub themes and space sub themes because I kind of based it off of what they did with the Ideas fan vote, but also didn't really. I didn't get all of them. So you can see Blacktron, Forestman, Explorians, Lion Knights. So I don't know if I'm missing an iconic classic one. I'm sorry, but we're just working with what we got so far.
Okay.
We can rank Lion Knights, I guess.
Is that image a Lion Knight set?
I don't know,
Isn't that
actually.
like black-
I think Jeff stepped away, and I don't know this.
I don't-
So-
That looks like the Black Falcons set.
Yeah, I
but
think it's a
maybe
Black
that is.
Falcon.
all right, so let's just say I don't know.
Okay.
Can we have
You guys are so
I don't know
unqualified to rank those themes. All right, Lego David, why don't you go make your own tier list and do a live stream on your channel? Relax.
You guys are so unqualified. How about
Lion Knights had some great sets. That's a B for sure for me. They were definitely of all the
We're putting it
themes.
in B so chat doesn't get mad. All right.
Hey,
This is
David,
one I
we are
can't
boomers with subscribers.
No,
We are very qualified, okay?
True.
We are
Lion
boomers
Knights
with
is not Hall
subscribers.
of
When
Fame.
was the last time you made a Lego video? Come on.
Jeez, Mike's really calling him. Nexo Knights. I love these sets, but
D.
D? No, you're
All
lying.
it did
I
was
wouldn't-
provide. It's just a
No, not a
constant
D.
reminder
No.
of how we didn't have a decent castle theme. That's all that was year after year.
Wow.
Yes, D.
No, they don't deserve a
C.
D. I think C minimum.
I love these sets, man.
I
I'm
enjoy
like
these
D.
too. I enjoy these.
Like I had the Knight and Castle. That was a pretty good looking set in my opinion. Like I think it should go in C.
There was the Fortrex, the moving castle. That
There,
was cool.
yes, a castle with treads. Hello?
Yes, and they had different villains every season, like different types
Come
of
on.
bad guys.
You can't put it in Joshua. Put
The
your
minifigures were amazing. Like
So
Ninjago
much
level.
sadness, so much sadness and bitterness over the lack of an actual castle theme whenever I saw those sets.
Yeah. Those had great molds, great armors, helmets, like Ninjago level stuff. Come on.
Yeah,
I'll put it in C, I guess. For now.
Let's
We
put it
can-
in C for now.
Yeah, I think it's a C.
Let's go with Jurassic World. This does include Jurassic Park.
Oh, you said it doesn't, or it does.
It
It
does.
does. Okay.
Okay.
C,
Um,
just because there were some dinosaurs and that's kind of cool, but besides that, I don't feel like there's
That-
anything worthwhile in those sets.
Yeah, the dino molds were excellent. But I kind of like I was working at the Lego store when they came out, the new wave, and I was skipping those all the time. Like I was I don't know.
That's a
I-
C for me.
I vote C.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah, because the sets aren't remarkable other than the dinosaur molds.
that is true.
Let's do a Lego movie. Let's go with Lego Movie 1.
Lego
I
Movie
really
1.
like those sets a lot.
Do you know what? I'm gonna go with freaking A.
I say we put them in A. I really like those sets like a lot, especially there was I think it was called the Super Cycle or something like that. I had that. And then you even had like Metalbeard Sea Cow. Like
Yeah.
Decal's great.
all those sets that came from that movie were phenomenal and like just
look who's unqualified. Lego Movie.
Lego Movie C. No, not C. That
No,
doesn't
you guys,
work.
like the movie was amazing. Come on,
Yeah,
the
the
movie
movie
changed
and the
history for
sets.
Lego.
We're
let's be
basing it
honest,
on the
like-
products, Michael. The products.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Let me finish my sentence. Let me just say that the products were capturing the spirit of the movie very well. I was gonna say that.
Okay.
I don't know where some of these images are. I put Minecraft on here too, but it's not listed here. I messed up.
No, I
Whatever. All right.
thought I saw Minecraft. You have it there.
I'll go.
Oh, it's funny
What?
how he changed to Lego Movie
Yeah,
V when I
it's,
said unqualified. It's
Now
so
we
right.
can't put Minecraft in white from memory.
Right, yeah,
Come
next
on.
to in between Marvel superheroes and Minions.
Oh yeah, I'm just dumb. All right, where we? I'm putting it in A.
I think
Yeah,
I
put
think
it in-
A is.
Come
I
on,
mean, B
it
or-
was a very important theme.
I'd lean more towards B with that, but I will say, I mean, the movie was amazing. But yeah, if you're not factoring that in, I don't know.
So I would say if we have Lego Movie in A, the Lego Movie 2 is a B.
Can you real quick, John? Can you highlight Mock Motion Studios? Mario couldn't even produce minifigures. What kind of theme is that? You banned Mythic Bricks because you can't handle the truth. You're wrong, sir. I timed Mythic Bricks out. All right, so dial it back. Dial it.
How did morning, guys? Anyway,
Hey, man, how's it going?
how did Mario manage to make B? Come on,
Dan,
that's
don't
a
you
C or
start.
D at best.
Shut.
What the heck?
No.
And how did Lord of the Rings not make Hall of
Oh,
Fame?
boy.
Okay, hold on.
It's
This
happening.
is why I was waiting for you and or April to rank Lord of the Rings. All right.
Lord of the Rings is not Hall of Fame, Dan. No way.
It is,
No way.
Absolutely. Do you know why it's Hall of Fame, Josh? Because it brought me out of my dark age.
Not a
Therefore,
good
it
enough reason.
deserves-
Sorry.
It's so bad. All right, let's get on with it.
I don't even know where's Lord of the Rings.
We already ranked
It's-
it.
We're
you
right
ranked
there.
it.
It's on the
You
list.
put it in B.
You
No,
ranked
it's
it at B.
Yep.
It's the first one, man, and B.
Oh my! I'm
Yeah. But bro, if
Mhm.
I guess because it's blending in with Pirates of the Caribbean.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
move it
very,
like yeah.
Yeah,
they're very brown.
Uh-huh.
I think that's appropriate, Dan. Objectively,
Oh, what? Even April's saying that Lord of the Rings isn't Hall of Fame. She's such a sellout.
well, she the sellout. Dan, are you passionate about any of these themes that are down here that you want to or potentially rank them?
Minions.
Oh no.
Oof.
Well, Dan just showed up, so I'm asking Dan, not any of the rest of you.
I think Brick Sketches is a wipe from memory.
Really?
Wait,
Oh.
seriously?
Wow.
Yeah.
Any objections, Chad? Anyone else?
They're not that bad. I should say. I mean, I have
me?
been sitting here working on the new Disney brick sketches. So, just full disclosure. I mean,
Hey, thanks, Lego, for
Insider
sending that through.
information.
Thanks, man.
they're definitely not wiped from memory.
I would say a D honestly, because I don't know. They
A
just
lot
not
of people
appealing
saying
to me.
white.
Besides the
I'm
fact that I kind of forgot that these were a thing, even though Joshua just showed me the set before we started the stream. I say we put it in
Oh
D.
man,
I say we
I
put
would
it
It's like
in D.
witness tampering.
I want to apologize to Chris McVeigh if he ever sees this.
I know, like Chris
Like,
is a
no,
great
okay,
designer.
so don't get me wrong.
He's amazing.
They're very good, and even his work outside of that, it's very good. But I don't. I think it's too new. I think for now, I think D. If anything, we could always go back and move it. But I think for now, D. But it's not a wipe. I wouldn't go as far.
I
as
know
saying
my
that.
first impression. I didn't like them when I first saw them.
Let's
No, there's a lot of people that didn't, and they were overpriced as well, and it was reflective in
Didn't
the
they-
sense that
didn't they
Lego
cut the
lowered
price right
the
now?
price. They had to, yeah.
They
They had
cut
to
their
cut
price
the
by
price to
$3 in
sell
the
them.
US. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
was it originally?
It was 20. Now it's like 17.
20,
Okay.
yeah, in the US.
It's like officially 17. Like it's not a discount. They just adjusted the price.
I see.
Yeah, because they realized they overpriced them. They weren't selling.
Okay, so we ranked Lego Movie 1 as A. What about Lego Movie 2?
I'm
B.
saying B. Just because the movie was a bit worse.
Well, we're not gonna base it off the movie.
Yeah, I shouldn't
All
be doing
products,
this.
Michael, the products
The
themselves.
okay,
okay.
you know what? Actually, the products were better than the first ones. Actually.
You really think so? I disagree.
I wouldn't say that.
no.
I think they kind of
No,
decreased
wait.
in quality. a
Okay,
bit.
so what was the most memorable one from the Lego Movie 1? The Seacow, probably, right?
The
Bumble Fett
sequel-
says Hall of
Yeah.
Fame. You are absolutely right.
No.
And the
no, no.
spaceship set.
Yeah, and that's it too.
So
was
from
Lego
the second
Movie 1.
movie, what was the most memorable?
Nothing.
Apocalypse Burg.
Apocalypseburg.
Apocalypseburg,
about-
yes.
But even that's just like a sand green and brown, just like
Okay,
I
but
don't like
from those from the line, so the Side Star sets like that party bus, that was cool. Come on.
This is a C
I
for
think
me.
it goes in a B, in B, and maybe at the end we can always move it down to C. But I think for now it's like B, if anything.
Maybe let's
Dan.
place at the B to be safe.
I think B's a fair judgment.
I would say C, but I'll put it in B.
Yeah. Let's put it in B for now.
Let's go with Simpsons.
Okay.
Very short-lived, but
See,
very
yeah.
iconic. Very iconic too.
Iconic.
I don't
the
think
sense of
2 sets, 2 minifigure packs. That's it. And a brickhead. Okay, we had brickheads with Homer and Krusty.
Which, by the way, those brickheads go for way too much money on the aftermarket. I don't know why.
Really?
They're super expensive.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, whatever.
The Simpsons house and the Quickie Mart were super detailed though,
Yeah.
and they were
Beautiful
full 360 sets. Yeah, they weren't Doll's House
Man,
style.
I love these sets. Holy smokes!
Open
Like, I don't
back.
know. Is it like too small of a team to place in A? But they were really good sets.
Lego David says wipe. You,
No.
what are you talking about? What do you know? Listen,
No.
come on.
That's the qualified guy. Come on.
That is your own biases getting in. We're talking objectively. Put your biases. Even Lego Mario fan number 1, put it in B. Okay, let's. You got to think beyond the brick. Okay.
But
this is a C for me. It was short-lived. I don't know. It's just a pretty generic stuff. I mean, I realize, this house did have some cool details and stuff inside, but I don't know. I also have no personal affinity for the show in any way, so I think that also makes a big difference.
Yeah.
let's give it a C to encourage Lego to make more Simpsons.
Chad is saying C. We can always move it, but
Yeah.
we'll put it in
I
C.
think it's good. Just go and see.
Kirk, pick a theme.
Okay.
I love how we avoid Bionicle with every move.
Let's
Yeah, I was
let's
just
go.
looking at it. Same thing.
Okay, I'm trying to look. Let's go with Marvel superheroes. Just get it out the way.
All right, where are you putting this,
Oh,
Kirk?
boy. Go for it, Kurt.
And
Come on.
I'm not putting it in A because it does not deserve an A.
Okay,
I'm
good.
not putting it in B either.
Really?
Ooh,
Whoa.
Wow.
I'm gonna put it in C.
Wow.
And the reason why is because when you look at the theme entirely, what do we like usually get? It's like
The
playset
minifigure.
type stuff. Besides
Let-
minifigures, but
Can I
it's-
say something? Can I
Go
say
ahead.
something?
Yeah.
For me, ever since I was back into Lego,
Mhm.
I don't remember the moment where superheroes from Marvel were not, oh, great minifigs. The set really sucks.
Yeah.
Like, there was so many times I said that to myself, with a few exceptions, like the Helicarrier or the Hulkbuster.
Mhm.
But with very few exceptions, I said that, like, yeah, I would love that minifigure, but I don't want the set. And I think I said it too many times to myself.
Yeah, like if you're not focusing on the minifigures, which have definitely increased in
Yeah.
value, like in quality recently,
Uh-huh.
like the sets aren't the best. They're mainly just like play sets, and then once in a while we'll get a bigger set. For example, Helicarrier, Hulkbuster,
Yeah.
and then like I guess also the bus that we just recently started getting.
Mhm.
But that's about it. I don't see it being a B at all. Like, just
And
put
it was
in C.
pumped by the strength of the brand of Marvel and Comic Con minifigures on top of
Yeah.
that.
So like
Right.
a generic Marvel fan or like a
Mhm.
super fan of like Marvel's gonna be like, okay, I want to have this set, especially like if it appeals to them, like with a certain character. But other than that,
This does, by the way, lump together Avengers sets,
Avengers.
the movie sets,
yeah,
typical
even
Marvel
with,
sets, and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
even with that, yeah, like even with all that in mind, like I think it needs to go in C. And we could
But-
possibly
okay.
move it up, but I think
What about the longevity? So it was a long-lived theme since the first Spider-Man.
And what I'll say is, I feel like wherever you put Lego Marvel superheroes, I think Lego DC superheroes, which includes regular Batman but not Lego Batman movie, I think those sets are objectively better.
I would agree. If
I
anything,
think
should go in
DC has more to
E.
offer with the giant sets, especially.
So by proxy, it would go in B.
B. Because like when you look back, like DC recently has been putting out a bunch of like more bigger sets too, especially for the adult fan base. So you
Right.
have like the Batwing, the Tumbler.
Oh yeah, like those are
And-
great.
and
Like
Batman-
all of the
yeah.
different Batman D2C sets outweigh
Exactly.
the Helicarrier and the
Absolutely.
Hulkbuster.
And the Batman
absolutely.
as a minifigure is like the largest single character collection you can find in Lego.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I would
Okay.
suggest that Batman alone carries the DC.
Let's switch things up and go Belleville.
Okay.
So what was Belleville? It was like those weird like Barbie dolls, right?
Friends but not friends.
No, those were Barbies actually. Like those.
Well, yeah.
They had like horses and stuff, like crazy molds. It was like answer to Barbie, I think.
So I was sitting in my car outside of the doctor's office with my wife, and she said, "Jeff, what's wrong?" I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You look real pale." I said, "What do you mean I look real pale?" She said, "Nothing, don't worry about it." I said, "Okay." Then I started to have this pain in my chest, and I was like, "Oh man, number 2, here we go."
It's from the Mountain Dew, Jeff. It's Mountain Dew.
Then I heard the voice of Kevin Hinkle in my head, and he said, "Stop him, Jeff. You're the only one that can. Stop him." So here I am. I understand that we're ranking Lego according to Brian, expert I make Lego content Saviano.
Excuse
today.
me, we are unqualified for this, remember?
Apparently.
What? What do you
Yeah.
mean we're unqualified for it?
That was like a very,
Someone's comment.
very heavy-hearted message in the chat. We're unqualified for this.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's dumb.
So Jeff, what's giving you the heart palpitations?
Well, for one, Mario should be in D.
Shut.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
no, no.
No, I'm just so old and I don't like technology.
Okay, cool. I'm glad that we agree there. Chima should be in, like, wipe these from memory, because who cares about Thundercats? It didn't go so well the first time.
The sets are not awful.
Okay,
They're not bad.
okay. The sets are awful.
They're not bad, but they're not good.
Creator needs to be in A, by the way, with the building creator. This nonsense of B is just ugh. And let's see here. The Lego movie sets are B, really?
2, Lego Movie 2.
No, 2, not
Yeah, Lego Movie 2 is garbage. So yeah, good point. Okay. Jurassic World needs to be an A.
No.
What have you guys been doing while I've been gone? Come
No.
on.
No, what? Hey, Jeff, you've got to have something iconic to be A or Hall of Fame. You can't tell me there's anything iconic from Jurassic World.
Dinosaurs attacking mankind because they were cloned.
They've made lots of dinosaurs in the past. There's
Not
absolutely nothing
mankind, just
iconic
Jeff
that would make
Goldblum.
that an
Come
A
on.
team.
Or Chris
There's
Pratt.
literally Dino 2010 on here. So if you want dinosaurs, we can like.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but why is Hero Factory and Bionicle 2 separate things?
Okay.
Okay,
I
we can't let Jeff revisit the past here. We've got to keep moving forward.
Okay. Belleville, where's it going?
Wipe.
Wipe.
Gotta wipe it. You've gotta wipe it. Nobody wants Lego Barbie dolls.
Again,
Yeah,
though,
that
like
was
Jared,
weird.
they gave some interesting pieces and different stuff. So to me,
Yeah, but
that's always a factor that helps the theme out. If it brings
it's
something
not-
different, it brought something different to the table.
But people aren't using them today. People aren't like, oh, I gotta complete my Belleville collection. Oh, like.
They'll use the pieces in mocks, though. There's
Hey.
different stuff that.
Brickstar's
Show up in
trying to collect Belleville.
Good for him. I don't
But
like. He's trying to.
By
I don't-
that logic, though, every theme brings at least one cool piece, right?
Yeah, should
You
have.
know, we got to look at the theme holistically here.
I would wipe it. I don't think that was a
Barbie
necessary
dolls.
team.
Yeah,
I think
wipe
it would be
it.
for me.
Lego was just trying to compete with Barbie. Come on, with Mattel.
Yeah.
I say we wipe it.
Now, I think wiping that from memory would be fine, but I think the Lego Friends sets are excellent.
Oh,
yeah.
they are. They are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with
Almost.
you
And they're getting
would-
better and better.
I would say B or A for this.
You
That's-
know what?
well,
Just for the
that's-
sake of being a father, I'm gonna go A.
I think you could say A also. I mean, it's been very long lived. It's brought a ton of new people, I think, into Lego, especially obviously girls. And so I think, yeah, there's a number of factors there. And the sets, yeah, as you said, Brian, are great. There's a lot of really cool sets in that series.
Lego friend sets are becoming so good, people are looking past the point of like we have Lego dolls now, but they're so good that people don't care anymore. Like there are Lego dolls,
Yep.
different minifigures.
And they're
So,
going
that just
beyond
tells
just the
a story.
typical shopping malls and purple and light pink and whatever. They're having good varieties of colors in there.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's on par with Lego City. They're at least getting one helicopter per wave now.
There you go. In a similar vein to that, I think the Lego Elves sets are some of the best, sets ever. They're excellent.
Really?
I think it's B. There's definitely some really cool pieces, like different unique pieces and colors in those sets that, yeah, and just some really nice designs as well.
Do you think, Brian, you like the elves because they kind of resemble like things from Nintendo? They kind of are.
No,
that
I think because
It's a
dragons
serious
are
question,
just,
by the way. I'm
I know
trying
that
to-
they're cool in general. And then this was, I think, the start to seeing more varieties of colors in the mini doll based sets, and then that translated into Friends once Elves went away. Because like even this thumbnail image right here of like a blue dragon just looks really cool.
I know.
And you know, like,
I
and
like
all
these,
these sets
yeah.
are very sought after by people now, just because of how objectively cool they are with the translucent pieces and variety of colors.
So if Friends is A, I would say Elves is B.
I think B is right for that.
Okay. Let's go.
Ghostbusters needs to be in Hall of Fame.
No, listen.
Oh
That's
my,
your,
Jeff, don't make us kick you out.
That's fair. But look, when anybody ever sees Ghostbusters, everybody knows what that is automatically.
not
wait,
necessarily.
we're talking Ghostbusters now?
Sure.
Super short-lived, I would say.
No,
Yeah.
we're getting more. We're getting more because there's a movie still. Yet
Okay.
the movie's sitting on a hard drive in California. It's gonna come
Do
out.
we count the new Ecto 1 into this,
Yes.
or is that
Yes.
great?
Yes.
No, that counts as Ghostbusters.
Okay, so what? We had the Firehouse, we had ideas, 2 ideas sets.
Nope. One idea.
No, one.
Like what? Yeah, 1 ideas, 1 non-ideas. I get it.
And then the
Did
one
I just-
car from the 26.
And then the Brickheads with Peter Venkman and Slime.
Yeah.
Definitely no higher than B.
And we had the Dimensions too. So
Yeah.
It is. It's an A. Everybody knows
We've barely
Ghostbusters.
gotten any sets from this theme, and it's based on an IP. I mean, it's not even that interesting. I feel like there has to be something more to it than just recreating something from a movie to make it like A or Hall of Fame even.
Joshua, if you had a childhood and you grew up with this movie, you would understand why it belongs in A or Hall of Fame.
We
But
are
that's not what we're ranking
talking.
this stuff on.
Yes.
trying to not be subjective too much, but we are.
Yeah, but is it Hall of Fame because of the film or because of the Lego sets?
Right.
The sets, they're iconic.
Jeff is getting
Because
very.
of the film.
Jeff, when we remove any bias from our liking of this franchise, would you still say that it goes in A, or would you say B?
Yeah, I'd say it goes in A still because the building is neat. The vehicles are awesome.
But it's
I
only
mean,
one. Technically,
building
it's like
doesn't
one
do
set that
anything-
people remember the most. It's
The
like
building
one
doesn't
set.
do anything that a modular doesn't.
It's
Okay.
literally just like a brick building. It's like a generic brick
Look at
building.
look at Kirk. He put Marvel in C, and he was good with it
Well,
because he put the bias aside.
You guys probably bullied them. It's fine.
We didn't. We're super nice to
No,
them.
that was all Kirk.
that was
It really
me.
should
I
be
was
C.
like, no, I said it's Marvel. Let's go ahead and get Marvel and get it out of the way. And I was like, let's put it in C. I think Ghostbusters, and Jeff, you're probably gonna hate me for this. I
Yeah.
think it goes in Wipe from Memory. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna put it in B. We're gonna put it in B. Just because when if I was to remove any liking of the franchise and just think of it as a set, like are the sets really good in quality? Yes, but I again don't think there was like enough to really see the full potential of like
Not
where
yet,
all
at
that
least.
could go. Yeah, not yet. Like in terms of like how many sets they've had so far. It's only been, let's see, you had Firehouse HQ, the 2 Ecto ones.
All right, you sold me at least a
Yeah.
B then. Yeah.
And hold on.
Yeah,
Just
and
so
yeah.
y'all know, B does not run out of space. It'll go to a second row.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be a B then. You're right.
Let's go with Overwatch. I think these minifigures are great for the game, but these sets are unremarkable, and I kind of don't want this to happen for Overwatch 2, but
D or Wipe from Memory.
wow.
Wow.
No, not wipe. Like things like this came, like a cool little technique for a ball, you know. So I like these sets, like for what they were, honestly. But even I'm not investing in the game. I think it's like more like a C,
C.
like a C. They
That-
brought something to the
That's
table.
being
They,
very generous for a very short-lived theme that brought very little to the
I'm
table.
looking at this as Lego opening up to more video game content.
So now this is where we're getting into some of the weeds of this, because we're putting Overwatch at the same caliber of Lego Marvel superheroes, and I think that's an injustice. Because
That's 'cause
Marvel
it
is
should be D.
much better than Overwatch.
Thinking that way, it has to be a D then.
No, I
Like-
think you guys did a little bit of an injustice to Marvel superheroes, to be fair. It should have been a B, but
Yeah.
Well, so the logic behind it, Dan, was that Marvel is not as good as DC. So wherever Marvel ranks, DC has to rank higher because the sets are better.
They're not though.
mm,
You don't think so?
No.
I think they are on a par, to be
Uh-huh.
fair.
No, but DC also factors in the Batmobile, Batwing,
We took
Batman.
Batman as a giant character carrying DC above a
and
lot of Marvel.
Lego Batman movie is
unfortunately.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
know, but it's still like Marvel superheroes still has a much more wide variety of sets and appeals to different age groups. I don't know. I just feel like both of those should be bumped up one.
You think DC for A?
Yeah.
If you're not going to bump it to A, they've both got to be on a par because you're either a Marvel or a DC fan.
Right.
So
like,
you're
I'm
going
a
to
Marvel
see.
fan, and I agree still with the sets that are placed right now.
Mm,
I'm a big Marvel fan. I actually hate DC movies.
We can circle back.
example.
Let's rank Lego Batman movie.
See,
B.
D.
Really? Okay, chat. We need your help on this one because we're ranking a little around
I mean,
the board.
the movie was incredible, but the sets. I don't think I got any of the sets, so
I
I really
enjoyed the
don't have an
sets very
opinion on
much,
the
actually.
sets.
I didn't get that many of them.
I don't even remember what sets there were.
Brick Star Wars boy, this is
Ultimate
absolutely not going in
Batmobile,
Hall
for
of Fame.
example. The Tumbler.
No,
Wait,
not
which
the
one?
Tumbler. No.
The Scuttler. The Scuttler. That was like the four-legged.
Oh,
And there
yeah,
was,
that's right. Yeah.
There was the
Ultimate Batmobile. That was a cool set. Come on.
the Arkham Asylum that we got was kind of nice.
the Joker's
we
Manor
got
was kind of nice.
the Joker's Manor.
B.
I think this is a C. I mean, the sets you guys named, there's some okay ones there. I think it's hard to say this is higher than a
And
C.
let me just get a look at some of the other sets because I'm really trying to.
And on top of that, we had two minifigure series from Batman.
The Batcave was not amazing.
Batman
I'm
movie.
looking at it right now, and it's
Oh,
not
no,
that great.
no.
It's like every other Batcave that came out.
Let's
Yeah,
put it in C for now.
Okay,
What?
I'd be okay with.
Oh,
for
B.
now.
I heard D.
D.
No, not D. Not D. Like C or
No,
B.
B.
Yeah.
C,
or
yeah.
B. B or C.
What about? I think regular Ninjago should go in A, and I'm not a Ninjago fan.
I agree. Actually, for what this theme did to Lego, it's a clear A.
Yeah, and also there have been absolutely iconic sets
Oh,
like
yeah.
Ninjago City and stuff that's just. I mean, some of
No,
the
it's-
best
it's
things
not
Lego
even
has
a
ever
question.
produced. as
Wait,
a
well,
company.
no, didn't Brian? You have Ninjago movie separated, right?
Correct, I do.
Okay, so yeah, we can't count that one. But
Oh, okay. So
even aside from that, I still think that it definitely needs to go into A. Maybe
Oh, yeah.
we could.
I think it's gonna be Hall
move it
of
up a
Fame.
bit. We might be able to do that.
I think
later,
Ninjago
but-
deserves a Hall of Fame overall.
I think, are we waiting on Hall of Fame till the end?
Yeah,
And then
we'll
look
wait.
at
Yeah,
the way?
yeah. But
What
Ninjago
about-
movie, I think Ninjago movie sets were the best movie sets ever made from Lego.
Yeah, the sets were banging from the Ninjago
Like
movie.
if you look at like sets made from Lego related or like Lego IP'd movies, Ninjago movie sets were the best ever made. Period.
Yeah. Especially the Destiny's Bounty and like
They beat like Lego movie sets, Lego movie 2 sets by a far. Like when that theme came out, everybody was like, "Whoa!" I remember that specifically. Like it was like a hyped theme, very much.
Not everybody, but yeah, they were good sets.
So does like Ninjago City fall under the movie then?
Yes.
Is that,
yes,
Okay.
that and the docks and
Docs. Yeah.
I guess the gardens is like
That's Ninjago. proper.
Ninjago. Okay.
So people are between A and B for the movie sets.
Plus all the Spinjitzu like temples and stuff that the normal Ninjago stuff came out with, those are kind of awesome. Like they didn't like slump on those at all.
Yeah.
The video game wave that the normal Ninjago stuff came out
They're
with,
cool.
that was great. Yeah, like
Yeah.
So should
They've
we just
come out
play
with some sick
Ninjago in
dragons.
full A all the time? What do you guys
Yeah, I
Well,
think so.
Yeah, A.
yeah, we'll just go away.
Just because, right?
Right.
Okay, so as a video game player and someone who's played infinite hours of this game, I don't think these sets are remarkable at all, and I'm going to make a lot of kids mad in the chat. I think
This
they're
is
not
a
remarkable.
C at best.
Yeah, see it best.
I mean, I don't remember
Ooh.
anything remarkable from Minecraft except for the Mountain
Gosh.
Cave.
I mean, I got my first Minecraft set the other day. I built that during the last quarantine cast. It was all right, but it just feels like I mean, it sounds stupid. I mean, besides that, it sounds stupid when you phrase it this way, but it just seems like you're just stacking bricks together, and then you look back and it's like, okay.
Because that like Lego is like simulation of Minecraft, or the other way.
Yeah,
It's like
it kind of
blocks
just
and blocks and blocks. You know?
Yeah, so it doesn't really appeal. Like there are some interesting ones that they have, but nothing that I could say it needs to go in A. I wouldn't say that. What are you gonna say, Jeff?
Jeff is doing weird faces now.
So, all of you are wrong.
Oh,
First things first. Minecraft came out as an idea set, right? Like everybody was like, "Hey, do this," and we got those little boxes full of parts. Blah 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 blah. But everybody was like, "They're just little boxes of parts. Who cares?" But the adults and the kids who played the game were like, "This is micro scale." Without those little boxes of parts coming out, microscale wouldn't have gone to where it's been to like lately or like in the past 20 years. So that inspired a building situation for a lot of people. And you say we're being not objective about this, and I am being not objective about this, but it spurred on a building craze. We got more micro cities. We got more books on micro builds. We got, heck, we even got the Lego Academy went into micro building because of the Minecraft micro build sets. So,
but no, you got to base it on the products itself, not what it like inspired.
That's
because
dumb.
Technically, you could put like Hidden Side or Mario in A because it is, provoking technological advances with Lego and app development.
But I think that's important though for the brand that we all appreciate that we go on about.
When you're comparing it to other themes and how they stack as individual products, that's what it's being based off.
We are also looking at the legacy that the theme leaves behind.
Right.
So I think Minecraft did have an impact.
It does, yes.
So what about the fact that the Minecraft sets, if you're going to look at their individual Minecraft sets, you can pull them all together and build a massive Minecraft world. If you had all of the Minecraft sets and put them all together, and I think where they won was when they started doing all of the molding for the figures and the animals. So they've created an entire, they've created the world very, very well, and it just fits with Lego perfectly.
Yeah,
I think Minecraft needs to be up there with C or B somewhere.
Maybe a
Definitely
B.
don't think it's below anything.
Dan, this is why you and I are friends, and we're tons of fun.
I've never played the game, so obviously that's a big factor for me. But I mean, I've built a few different sets throughout the series they've done with Minecraft, and they just feel so basic and like uninspired. If you completely remove them from the game, there's just so little there of interest. I think compared to any other, almost any other Lego building experience. Like Kirk said earlier, I mean, you're just kind of feels like you're just stacking some 2x4s for like most of the Minecraft builds that I've ever done.
You are.
That's what Minecraft is actually. Like this is very close to the source material that way. But yeah, true that.
And this is also the thing too. Can you put it above Simpsons or Marvel superheroes? Like, is that justified?
I think it's a C for me.
Yeah. I say let's put it in C. If anything, we can always come back. But for now,
guys, what I think, like in the end, we're gonna place Marvel in B along with DC.
I feel like that might happen.
That might happen as I look at
let's continue on regardless.
Yeah, as I look at the stacking right now.
We're not going to divide the chat with Star Wars yet. I'm saving that one. Let's go with Monster Fighters.
B.
What?
B.
Flynn just
At least as good as Hidden Side.
Perfect time, Flynn.
Oh, perfect timing. Great timing. Boom.
That was perfect. That was truly really good timing. Wow, nice one.
Now's the time to make your case, Flynn.
Monster Fighters?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have to see what you've got, what it's up against here. Golly, let's see. Okay, you got your modulars, your collectible minifigures, your Harry Potter, your ideas.
This is the overwhelming vast majority of themes. There are still some missing that I forgot to export from Photoshop, like Speed Champions, so I got to redo a couple of them, but this is most of them.
I got to make a case for A because based on, many things, but one in particular, that haunted house is one of the most sought after sets. I just so many people want that haunted house. Like it's a big one that people look for, and it also that line produced some really rare minifigures like the Zombie Bride, and some of those like there's like a particular zombie chauffeur. I think that's a really coveted piece. I don't know. I think it's and it was just a really great, fun theme that they don't visit very much.
Right.
I see elves in the B area, by the way.
So okay, well let's place Monster Fighters first, and then you can make the case for what you want to change here. Let's just get that one.
Oh, I get to make cases?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I'm surprised, real quick, at chat. There's a lot of people agreeing with you with A. I would not. I didn't realize. I mean, Flynn, I knew you were a big fan of this theme. I did not realize how many people held this theme in such high regard. This was. I mean, yeah, there is some cool sets, like you said. The Haunted House was a great set. I would not have put this in A, but the chat seems to agree with you for the most part.
There's a lot of emotion to that theme from the community, and there's gotta be a reason.
Yeah, well, I think, and also too, it has a lot of really great rare parts. I mean, now one's not, but that original little bottle with the ship printed on it that's in the haunted house, and there's a little 1x1 round brick that has like a heart, like a human heart, like in a jar type deal printed on it. I mean, just some like really great stuff that you don't see very often, if ever. And I think they're really great sets.
Okay, so we have Monster Fighters in A, and I think that's good. Are there any exceptions to this list that you would like to make a case for, Flynn?
Let's see. No, I gotta say, I have to say, I agree pretty much with all of this.
Cool.
Oh, Belleville, really?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I get it. Like, I totally get it. But, the reason that I love it is because it is so weird and just completely off-brand, and there's
it was
something
a way to compete with Barbie officially.
Well, that was Belleville there was actually a Lego line that had a Barbie sized doll, but it wasn't Belleville. It was something else.
Scala.
Yeah, that's it.
Or maybe I mixed with Scala actually. Yeah, I might have been that.
And I'm a big fan of interesting parts, and Belleville definitely had its share of really interesting parts that were created for it that still exist today. So but I'm not advocating for changing it. I'm just saying saying there are the things that I love about it.
Belleville had the large dolls in it too, though, didn't it?
It had bigger size dolls, but not like Barbie size.
Not the Scala size. They were sort of more squat and round, weren't they?
Yeah, they were a little more like gosh, I don't know. I would put them in the well, gosh, you know what? I've never seen an actual Galador set like in person, but I imagine that the figures are the same size, in that same size.
Well, while we're wiping from memory, then with Belleville, you might as well add Galador to that list.
That's an easy get, right?
I personally really enjoy the image I used for this one. It's like a McDonald's.
This is D tier for the memes alone. I mean, come on.
The memes are strong in this one, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can almost make a case for it being, it's like the cult movie of Lego, right? It's like
was this like a movie director that like makes The Room?
Oh yeah,
Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
Tommy Wiseau is like the Tommy Wiseau of Lego. Galileo is the Tommy Wiseau of Lego.
Flynn, are there any of these themes down here that you would like to toss up on the board?
Oh, Pharaoh's Quest definitely is, I think, a really, really great theme.
Anybody else?
I'll let people debate where it goes, but I think it's great.
I am skipping my vote. I'm not.
I had several Pharaoh's Quest sets, and yeah, there was a lot of great stuff here. I mean, it was very sort of adventures-esque. Definitely, I think, lived up to that theme in a lot of ways.
Well, and again, generated a highly coveted minifigure, the Anubis minifigures from the big Sphinx one. So it definitely has its pluses. I don't know if I would say D,
No, I'm just
No.
covering it there.
I would say C. I mean, it was pretty short lived. There was some cool
Yeah.
stuff, but it's not high enough to be B. Just because I mean, there weren't a whole lot of sets from the theme in the end.
What is high enough to be B, though, is a $20 super chat from Esh Daddy that says, LME Toys, building your Josh. One brick at a time. Thank you very much, Daddy, for the super chat.
Thanks for stopping by.
Brian, you're wrong.
What?
You're wrong. You said it should go in B. It doesn't belong in B. It belongs in Hall of Fame.
This? Pharaoh's Quest?
No, I'm talking about Esh Daddy's donation.
Oh,
you just said
Esh
it belongs in B.
Daddy.
You said it belongs in B.
We need to have a goat tier above that Hall of Fame, and Esh Daddy's up there.
Oh, man.
We're so used to you not really talking or responding, we thought you were, having a stroke.
Oh, I see.
This is a C theme for me.
Yeah, I'd say C. It's got
I'll-
some really cool bits, but it's just there wasn't enough of it to warrant going any higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
There's a lot of themes that are like that in a similar vein, I feel like Atlantis, there's Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Prince
Alien
of Persia, though, I want to make a strong case for that, like
Alright.
being a B theme. There are so many unique minifigures, parts, because the architecture and like period that depicts is so unique in terms of Lego themes. We got so many like animals and minifigures and different types of parts and different colors out of that theme. I love that. I had a whole bunch of those sets growing up. I loved that theme. I've never even seen the movie, so I have no connection to that. But just from the sets themselves, I would make an argument for B for that. But I don't know. Maybe that was just me connecting with that theme.
So, Joshua, you're actually the perfect candidate for that movie because that movie was god awful. It was bad.
Oh. Which movie are we talking about now?
Prince of Persia.
Oh.
I've only seen it once and I didn't enjoy it that much.
Yeah. So, but those sets were fire. The sets were definitely better than the film. So I'm with Joshua on this one, 100%.
So you think B?
Yeah.
I think so.
Has those ostriches.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
tons
true.
of unique minifigures and the like accessories with the minifigures too, like weapons, like headwear, just like all
Yeah.
sorts of different pieces that we got with that theme that we hadn't seen before.
It came. Did it come with camels as well? Did they have a set
Yeah.
with camels?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff in there.
Okay.
I mean-
in a similar vein to like exploration and whatnot, we'll have Indiana Jones next, but that's pretty cool.
This is a Prince of Persia set. It's tiny, but it's fun.
Indiana Jones is like it's a controversial theme because Lego and their stance on no military, yet
Yeah.
most of the Indiana Jones sets contained some military of some description. There was one that had a World War II plane in it. They've got vehicles. They've got Nazi soldiers, and
No,
it's
but an
like,
Osprey
don't get me
gunner.
wrong.
No, Dan. Osprey. No.
I never
No.
didn't say Osprey. I didn't
Let's
say
not, let's
Osprey.
not go
No,
there,
no, but it's
okay?
not
Let's
allowed,
just not go there.
That's what
But-
made that theme so amazing, though. Yeah. I mean, all of those things you just mentioned, Dan, is what made Indiana Jones so great.
Absolutely, and I love the theme. I absolutely love the theme, and a lot of people use it as the argument of why Lego won't do militaria. And I'm just going to say, for everybody that doesn't know, the reason why is because they're not sponsored by those companies. So those companies aren't making money like Osprey. Just saying. So leave the argument out. Enjoy the sets.
Also, it's because of that one artist that he did a few years ago in a tribute to World War II.
I
We don't
really
need to
wish,
talk about that, though.
I wish I bought the set that was the first scene of the movie with the boulder coming down. That's such a cool looking set.
Oh, same
yeah.
here.
That
Same.
is-
I've got a story about that set, to be fair, and it's really upsetting. So I found that set in a secondhand store, but it didn't have any minifigures. And I thought the boulder came out of a little plastic cricket set, which was beside this Lego on the shelf.
no.
So I took the boulder out and put it with the blimmin' cricket
man.
set.
Oh,
And I got home. I know, right? I get home and I'm like, I look up the set. I'm like, feverishly. I'm like, oh crap. And then I look at the Bricklink price of that boulder. It was like $40 or something.
Oh
New
my
Zealand.
Oh
goodness.
my
And it was like-
goodness.
so
Oh,
look, it didn't have minifigures. It wasn't complete. So I just went,
Did you
Done.
also buy the medieval village set? Like, this goat probably doesn't belong in
Without
here.
a goat.
Throw it somewhere else.
So that
Lego never made goats.
that same set is the one that I got. One of the first sets that I ever bought when we first started collecting, like picking up Lego, and it was the one we talked about it a few weeks back when I asked like what your like shadiest Lego deal, like where you had to go. That was the one where I like took the public transportation, the BART here in the Bay Area, like all the way out like an hour and a half to another complete part of town and met a guy in a parking lot who had him like in his trunk. It was like a whole thing. But that set was one of them, and it did not include the boulder. However, it did have everything else, all the minifigs and everything. So that was pretty awesome, including the idol. So
Ooh.
The set with the Ark of the Covenant was one I got as a kid, and I really liked it. So I'm going to put this in B, just because there's some solid sets in there. The weirdest one being the temple, like the big temple, but we can.
Yeah, just
like
the
that.
amount of time we're talking about it deserves a B.
Let's go with Scooby Doo.
Zoinks.
Wipe it from memory.
Real? No, Josh.
No.
I had zero interest in these sets.
Well, so it's for me, who was like a spooky kid growing up, that was like, it was a big break from a lot of the like super hyper and super cheerful like cartoons and everything that were on, and it was great to have, again, like Monster Fighters. It's got that spooky vibe in it that people just love. Like, it's why the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney World is a hugely popular attraction. Like, there's something about that people love. Now, I wouldn't say it goes in a top tier, but I think it's great. And also the minifigures are really good. Although I did not like the way that they only put the Velma and Daphne in the most expensive set. I thought that was really a bummer. But overall, I think that the sets were a little weird. Like, it was like really like a plane, and also like a mystery plane, and also it seemed like they
Mystery boat.
Yeah, mystery boat. Like, it seemed like, I love the Mystery Machine model. It was a great set. The stickers were horrifying, but it was a great set. So I advocate for at least a middle slot.
I think it's gonna have to go somewhere, C, because you got to equate it to something like The Simpsons. It was cool for what it was, representing Scooby-Doo, but it didn't go far enough to get any higher up on the ladder, in my opinion.
Side note here, chat says the Velma figure is worth more than $90
I believe it.
Yeah,
Wait, what set did she come in? Well, I'm trying to remember which
the
set
big
that.
haunted house.
The big
Mansion.
castle.
Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
And that set itself was like 90, I think.
Wow.
I think I gave away that whole range at one point. I had the whole series of them all, and someone else wanted them, so I gave them to them for,
Nice.
I don't know.
Dan, you're
something
just
else
like
later
one horrendous story.
I don't think about Lego and its value and what it's going to be like in 2 years or 5 years time. I just think about it now, and it's like, I've got it. I don't really want it. You really do want it. Let's trade something or whatever,
Something that everybody does want is dots, right? Where are we putting dots?
Oh,
D.
I disagree.
Ooh, okay. Clint.
what do they bring to the table? What do the dots bring to the table, really? Like,
Well, I would
colorful tiles?
I would argue that in a very real way, dots combined with those mosaic sets, like, have, I know personally, just from people I've seen online and stuff, people have started creating really fantastic mosaics using these pieces, and I think it was very popular. It was like, there's no doubt that dots is extremely popular. Lots of people buying it. Those little like the printed tiles that came with it and all that. I think it sort of helped put Lego in the art category for some people.
Okay, so but by that
for
it would have to go
dots.
in C next to video and art itself. But then I think now we can safely say Marvel superheroes should go up because it's not C compared to everything else here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
All vote yay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
I agree.
Let's
D
go
for
with.
dots. Chat is saying D for dots.
Well, chat is also wrong. So Jack Stone, where are we putting it?
Wipe.
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 All right, it's wiped. It's done.
Easy wipe.
That's quick.
Oh,
Easy
we,
wipe.
we just made Boone cry.
Well, if Boone wants, if he wants to, he can come on the show and he can make his case. Okay, a public call out. I miss you, Boone. Where are you? Get back.
He's
in
too
the-
busy
on the
getting
picture.
to, I know, Lego Master Season 2 or something.
Flying out to Hollywood as we speak.
Yeah.
Let's go with Jeff. Really advocated last night for me to make a whole thing for Speed Racer. I know it's important, but like, where would it go?
I mean,
Wait.
this is like a D tier theme. It's so forgettable. Like, who even remembers?
Yeah,
like, who
I don't
made
even
it?
know
I was
what's
just gonna
going
say
on.
they did Speed Racer. All right,
I didn't even know.
I didn't either. Like, all
This
right.
is a D for sure. No, I mean, how many people, if you ask them, would even remember they made this theme?
Okay, well,
My only knowledge of that being a thing was when the Lego movie came out and it was like Speed Racer. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I
I'm
didn't know that was
surprised
a thing.
like Brian had this one here and not Speed Champions.
Well,
but I
Jeff-
know it's Photoshop problems, I know.
Yeah, Jeff advocated for it, and I also didn't make Avatar its own theme, so that kind of shows you what bar I was going with. If it had like 2 or less sets, I'm like, nah, I'm not bothering.
Mhm.
But
So
You know.
Speed Racer was that anime, right? Was the anime? Or
based
Yeah,
off the movie, but it is.
Yeah, but there was
Okay,
an
okay.
anime. Yeah.
gotcha.
All right.
Don't remember it.
This is why.
oh, I do.
Speed Racer, the sets itself, the line itself, gave us 2-person Lego cars, like 2-seaters, before without using a big crazy mold and using brick built pieces, and gave us that. And I know that we're going off of like remembering the sets and anything else, but I liked the line. All of the cars were cool looking, but then again, I'm also kind of a car guy, like as far as Lego goes. So who knows? And that's why I was advocating for it, because I thought it was important. Because without that, we wouldn't have gotten 2-seaters.
Fair enough.
Also,
I am-
look at this monstrosity.
Is that relevant to Speed Racer?
Get your Build-A-Bobs, ladies and gentlemen. It's great.
Shameless plug.
I'm in the process of. Well, I have Speed Champions added, but I think I might need to refresh it. Whatever. Anyways, we can head back to the list, and I can, I'll add it afterward. Let's go with. What about Rock Raiders?
D.
Great theme.
D.
Okay.
D.
I
What?
have no connection,
Really?
so I don't know.
D.
This was the first time Lego had ever really done a like mining theme like that, right? That I can think of. I mean, it was kind of when this came out, it was very new, very original stuff for them. And there's some really cool parts, like the drill and the rock monster and everything that we got from that.
Well,
This
but
is
we also have power miners on here, so like all those arguments are fine. And
Yeah.
because it did it first is cool, but power miners I feel like did a lot of those other things just better, and it's newer.
Rock
Yeah, and
Raiders
Power
is
Miners
just-
had really cool colors and stuff too. Yeah, I don't know. I would have said like C for that, but if you guys, if maybe I'm alone in thinking that was a good theme.
Rock Raiders is lazy space. D.
So if that's D, right, then where would you put power miners?
Probably like
C.
Any objections?
No, I don't object
Okay.
at all.
Let's go with Fabuland.
Oh,
I think this is. I think C is the right place for this, just because of the how unique it is and how different it is from almost anything else Lego has done, and some of the cool pieces and different stuff it brought in. But it definitely can't go any higher than C, in my opinion.
So I'm going to say Hall of Fame.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
I say Hall of Fame.
I'm about ready to mute Jeff.
That's fair.
Wait, Jeff, are you serious or are you just joking?
Yeah,
Oh, he's muted. He's
Oh, it's
muted.
fine.
I'm
Well, I would-
110% serious.
Okay.
I think it was a. I think it was a really cool theme, and you're right. And if we're looking at 3 and what something has brought to Lego overall, Fabuland brought a lot to Lego overall. It was the first theme that introduced like natural colored bricks, like tans and browns and things like that. And it also came along with tons of new parts that were created just for that line. It still exists today. And of course, that's why a lot of these props are like too large for minifigures, because they were originally meant for Fabuland. But I'm not advocating it for it to be super high on the list. I just wanted to note that the notable things about it that it has brought to Lego overall. And I think that the introduction of more natural colors is a huge step. Honestly.
So this is again like the argument, like, would you see Fabuland as being on par with Nexo Knights or Scooby-Doo or Chima? And if it's not, then it has to be in D. So like, as we're going through these, keep that sort of mentality in mind.
Oh, we got Stuart Harris in here to give to give some more official opinion. Is the first homegrown IP.
Joshua, excuse me. We don't need corporate intervention here.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh,
You don't want to water this down with a corporate.
Yeah, listen, we can say whatever we want. And Fabuland is okay.
Fabuland is C. I think Flynn I think that from a historical perspective there, I think it's definitely on the same level as some of those other themes you mentioned. For me, for sure.
I would say I would put it, if you're going to put it in C, I would put it at the top of C.
We're not doing that, like, just because that would take way too long, like organizing them. But like, yeah, I get you.
But I'm just saying, if we're going for levels,
I would make the argument for Fabuland to be B, because you see more people now still interacting and hunting for Fabuland because of the whole the new Neo Fabuland displays. And I've seen more Neo Fabuland displays in the last probably 2 or 3 years than I've seen in the last 10 years of being an AFOL. So I think it's got a new resurgence very recently. And it is still very, very sought after. Nobody's going out there to lolook for Chima sets to buy.
I know.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. I wasn't going to try and push it, but thank you for doing that. I 100% agree.
I know like 40 builders that did a giant display at a brick convention for a Fabuland in a post-apocalyptic theme, and that was killer. Just saying.
But here's, like, you can't put Fabuland, in my opinion, on the same caliber as the Lego Batman movie.
Well, you're wrong.
I don't think you can. As the same level as Monkey Kid. Come on.
Well, I mean, I don't.
I think the people that Fabuland appeals to are probably just as passionate about Fabuland as the people that Batman appeals to are just as passionate about Batman.
I would agree with that.
It's one of those things that has its niche follower base, and Fabuland does have a large follower base, so that means it must be popular.
Yeah, and does Chima have a
I'm
big
not a fan of Fabuland, don't get me wrong. I don't own... I think I've got maybe 1 or 2 Fabuland figures that I've picked up in a bulk lot. It's not something that I go out after, but objectively, it's something that I see a lot of, and it's something that I know that a lot of people like.
Stuart, there you go. Your corporate intervention has gotten Fabuland to rank B on the list. There we go.
See, I knew.
Wait, hold on. Joshua, John, can you highlight that? Clearly, Fabuland is more innovative. Bobby Laveau, I am disowning you. You're gone. You're gone. You're banned from my live stream, from the Beyond the Brick streams. You're done. You're done.
What am I joining into? Fabuland in B?
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
I knew there was a reason I like Dan. I knew.
All right.
Pushing for that B.
I was absent, so I'm not gonna justify that.
We need something. We need to add something into the wipe from memory category. What are we putting in here?
Trolls.
Troll? Really?
Like which category? D?
Trolls is wipe from memory for sure for me.
Oh, you want to wipe?
Oh, yeah.
I would say...
Might as well put Minions in there too while you're at it.
Yeah.
I think Minions and Trolls are a wipe.
Any objections?
I object.
Oh, why does Kirk object?
I think it belongs in A. You know
Get
what?
out! Stop it! Stop!
I'm sorry. No,
Okay.
honestly, no. It's a wipe for me. I think I made that very clear during what was this?
When Sam Johnson came
Yes, yes, I made that very clear, and I did not know he was the guy that pushed for it. And I'm just like, oh, trolls, you're the guy that did that.
Well,
Thanks.
okay, again, though, we have to be that we are not us here right now are not
Yeah,
the target
we're not.
audience for this,
Yeah.
and there is a lot of kids who probably really dug it, and the Minions set, to be honest. Like, Minions thing is so far beyond me, like I don't even get it. But
Okay, so from a parts and colors perspective, I would rank Trolls higher than Minions.
yes,
Yes.
absolutely,
Yeah, that's
100%.
I'll put. I think that's fair.
So-
Trolls in D, Minions
We
white.
have
Because
to-
Minions only has unique minifigures, but it's just the mini, like the Minions themselves.
Yes.
I
So
don't
we
know.
have to take into account
well,
that are we
Minions
taking
has
the
bought one of the-
franchise? Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, Minions has bought one of the best parts to the Lego palette in recent times. That 4x4 round, light blue grey, the piece that's used around the eye. That's like a classic Space Builder's
That's
dream
cool.
piece.
Yeah, you can't
You know,
base it off one.
and a 3x3 tile. So, you know,
Yeah, but Dan, who builds in classic space colors anymore?
not me. You know, only real Lego nerds do that.
That's fair.
So we have to like get something straight. Are we taking the franchise at all into account? Because when the Trolls movie came to Amazon as a on-demand rent instead of theaters, like it broke some records.
No.
The Netflix Trolls show broke some records. It's like I actually love the show. Like I watched every single episode with my kids. It's fantastic. So do we even take that into account or do we not?
No, because if you
No,
put
we're
that,
not.
if you ranked, if you ranked it based on that, then Mario
Gotcha.
would be at the Hall of Fame level, and Lego
Yeah,
Movie would be in
Absolutely. I
the.
just want to
fair.
clarify because like
Yeah.
I like the whole I like the lore. Trolls are super funny and I enjoyed it. But yeah, I only have one set for my kids. I think two actually. But yeah, I think that
No, yeah.
D
I
is
mean,
fair.
with that logic, yeah, Angry Birds would be an A because it
Okay.
is massively popular
Okay.
with the app and everything.
Gotcha.
I don't really know. Wait, are we keeping Minions in white from memory?
I would say so.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair because like I did get
The movies
one...
are fun, right?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. Like I got one of the sets for my brother because I figured he wants to watch these movies like on a daily basis, like nonstop. I'm like, can you turn it off? He still wants to watch it. But he didn't have any interest in the set, surprisingly, despite the fact that he likes Minions like
Same
a lot.
here. Like I didn't have
And I'm
any
like,
interest.
that's kind of confusing.
My girls have
so
like
I think
Minions.
it's like wipe.
My girls have Minions plushies, but I showed them the sets and they were like, "Meh."
Yeah, like that's what I don't get. It's
The
it's-
buildable minions carried that line. The rest
Yeah,
of the sets
absolutely.
were just
yeah, the buildable ones
trash.
are good.
Let's rank Brickheads.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
C.
See,
What did I do? Whoops. Hold on. Sorry.
you went incognito.
I mean, Brickheads. There's been some cool ones, but I don't know, it just doesn't rise to the level of those other like B level themes, in my opinion.
I think Lego was planning big things for Brickheads. I'm not sure if it succeeded or not.
Well, if nothing else,
I think it did kind of succeed.
yeah, I was gonna say, if nothing else, it brought a new style of building to Lego that a lot of people really embraced. Like I saw some really amazingly well done Brickheads. I still see them.
Yeah, I think Brickheads introduced a whole new community of mock builders.
Especially when they introduced the what was it, the Go Brick Me set or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Well,
think that Brickheads replaced Mixels in some way?
I
I
wouldn't
think they
really-
were
As like-
competitive to Funko
Like
Pop.
affordable collectibles?
Yeah,
Like Funko, they were like an answer to Funko Pop, I think, in most.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think for me, what would rate Minions slightly higher than a C would be the fact that when Lego announced the line was going to be ceased, the public came out and were like, "No, we want to keep Brickheads. We want to keep Brickheads."
I was just
And-
gonna
That's
mention
true.
that.
People
And
spoke.
they, Lego bought Brickheads back, and okay, I'm not super fussed with the pets wave at the moment, but
Mhm.
there was enough popularity behind it for Lego to bring it back. And it is one of the few collections that I have. When I started out, I hated them when they first came out. I hated them, but they grew on me, and the more I collected, the more I liked them, and so it won me as a consumer to collect the Brickheads when I hated them at first.
I can definitely say, like, when I first saw them, it wasn't something that I had any interest in until I picked up. This is when I was working at the Lego store. I picked up the Gamora Brickhead, and I think, like, in my opinion, out of like the Marvel ones that we did get, that was probably like the best when it came to like detail, like especially with the coat and everything like that. Like that was one of my favorites. And then even with the Flash Brickhead that we got for Justice League, like I like that one. So there are some that are good, and then there are some that are like kind of lower in like quality. But overall, I would say it's a very unique theme in my opinion. I think it does deserve a good ranking.
I think I'm with Kirk on this one as well. Like, I have only bought one Brickhead in my existence of mankind, and that is the Ghostbuster Brickhead. And like, it's somebody said that it's like the vinyl pop of Lego, and I hate vinyl pops so much. But they're right; they're collectible, they're fun, they're easy to get. I mean, why not? And some of the quality isn't up to the others that are.
I think Brickheads brought enough to the table that it justifies a B.
Yeah. It's also one of those cross-theme themes in the sense that if you're a Star Wars fan, you're likely to buy the Star Wars Brickheads. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, you're going to buy the Ghostbusters. Yeah, that's right. Cross-appeal, cross-theme appeal.
Yes.
And they've also produced some really great printed parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
True that.
Absolutely.
We had Comic-Con collectibles as well, from Brickheads.
Exactly, like the Venom
So
and the Spider-Man
it's across the
ones.
board, like it brought a lot to the table. So I think it deserves a B at least.
Yeah, Flynn, didn't you guys do a build challenge with the Mando Brickheads just a little while ago, and you demonstrated how those parts are so useful, even as not a Brickhead, right?
Yeah, we actually did a rebrick challenge. So everybody got the Mando and Child set, and then created something else out of it. So it was really fascinating to see how everybody used the parts, and some people used all of them. I was really impressed. They did a really good job.
And folks, why these people only have 2,000 subs is beyond me. Go subscribe to Trick Your Bricks now, because they're a good time.
Thank you. That's very kind. I appreciate that.
It's true, though. I mean,
I had the tab in incognito mode because of my tab, like just to keep it simple.
Oh, you lost everything.
I did lose everything, but I did add Speed Champions, so we can rank that next. So I added that in while I'm redoing the thing right now. So just keep talking about.
We can help you with that one.
Where's Brickhead's ranking?
B. I would say B.
Okay.
We're doing B.
I got that. Excellent.
Brian's like, Mario goes to A.
I'm ready to make the Hall of
Nobody's
Fame
gonna
argument
notice.
for Forrestman and Brian whenever you're back up.
Okay.
Joshua, I will be in your corner on that fight. I promise.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to set some personal feelings aside with that theme. I don't. Unfortunately, I don't think it quite
Brian-
makes Hall of Fame.
Brian, would you like Mario Brickheads?
Would I like Mario Brickhead?
Would you like Mario Brickheads?
I want Mario like tattooed on my
Everything.
forehead. I want everything Mario.
The figures in Mario sets kind of are brickheads. I mean, that's almost how they're
I
built.
know.
Sort of that.
Kind of ish, yes, maybe.
And even going back
Like this
to,
guy's like a brickhead almost. Like,
Right,
looks
and
like-
even like the
Like
what is
imagine
it,
having
the
like a
Koopas and
brickhead.
Bowser Jr. Like all of those figures, I mean that's almost like a brickhead style of build.
But what brickheads are is just like the core structure and the customization built around it. So that was like the whole thing, right? The style.
even with,
Lego Band.
go ahead.
Yep.
And we gotta say that brickheads brought the popularity to that 2x1x2 brick with side studs. That basically
absolutely.
made it to the mainstream, right, of Lego. I think it's a big point as well.
Did that brick exist before Brickheads, or was
I think
it
they might have
introduced with
introduced
Brickheads?
it.
I think that was what introduced it.
I
'Cause
think it's a
remember,
big structural like system brick right now at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I
It's
started
massive.
getting those pieces.
So that's
in my
that's another
collection.
like legacy of brickheads, like a very useful brick, right?
Watch
even with, like,
Harry Potter
women-
and Mario be Hall of Fame when this pops back up.
I swear, like he's just like, let me just add. He's breaking Mario by seasons right now. He's making 3 cards for Mario,
We'll just like mix it in, just make sure.
and
we
just
don't
like
notice.
extra card for the collectible Series 1, Series 2. You know, it's like gonna be Hall of Fame.
Listen,
Like
I'm not
whole-
that stupid. All right, hold on. I think I pretty much got it here.
Right. As long as Ghostbusters magically found its way to Hall of Fame, I don't care what you do.
Can we get Ghostbusters and wipe it from memory and call it a stream?
All right,
No.
I should be
No.
good. Pretty much.
Did we even get to Bionicle yet?
No, we
No,
don't
we're
have
not touching
Bionicle.
that just yet.
We should cancel the stream just before. Like we should just leave Bionicle in the void, like and just cut
Alright.
it there.
Real quick, Speed Champions. Where do we want to put this?
Okay,
Oh,
so I really like the Speed Champions.
love
That's,
it.
the cars are great. I love that theme a lot. I personally, where do we put? Okay, wait. What
I'm
other
just
car?
changing-
Okay,
Hold on.
yeah, you're good. What other car themes did we have in here besides
Well,
Speed
the
Champions?
Speed races.
Speed Racer.
Ra-
Okay.
yeah.
It
Not even
definitely is
close.
better than that. So it's I say it's either a B or an A. Not a C.
I'm calling A.
Wow.
Just
say
be-
A.
ju- I'm saying. Let me just explain. Just because
Okay.
they went from 6 stud to 8 stud, I'm calling
Hmm.
A. I'm calling innovation. I'm calling like that Lego is putting down onto that theme and making really cool licensed small cars. So Speed Champions is a great placeholder or just a great alternative for big creator models for many people right now.
I'm going to argue Mike's point. I think that they were better when they were 6 wide.
Okay.
I don't.
I mean, fair enough. Like each to their own, right? Like I like the 8 stats, but I can see why people don't. But I think it's just like I see that Lego is taking care of this theme very well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing that I agree completely on. They're doing a really good job. I have most of the Speed Champion sets, so it's just a good time. They're really fun sets to build.
Like for my personal understanding, impression of each Speed Champion sets, I always like looked forward to building them. Always like, oh, I gotta get a Speed Champions card. It's a quick buy, nice build, always enjoyable. Maybe except for the stickers, but overall, I think it deserves an A.
I agree, and
For just being very likable team.
even if I don't agree with you about the 8 wide, I mean, I've got the Ferrari in my hand right now, and it's the 8 wide, and it's nice. It's
Yeah.
a cool.
That Shibuto is great. I have it as well. Yeah.
The only problem is that if you try to stick a minifigure in there with a helmet or a hair on, it's not going to happen.
Let's
Yeah,
get the
there are
opinion
some
of the
drawbacks.
audience real quick. What do you think on Speed Champions ranking? Anybody in the chat?
We have A's and B's. A's, B.
Just while you're looking at the chat, am I missing something? I can't see architecture anywhere, and I can't
That's another one I
see
forgot.
That was the one missing, so we're gonna.
creator expert.
So I did modulars, and I also had a different one for cars, and I forgot those as well. Sorry.
What about the theme park stuff?
See, and I could have put Winter Village too. So, like, clearly this list needs some work. There's 70,
Okay.
80 themes
Yeah.
here.
All right, fine.
Ryan,
Sorry,
you came
my
on
bad.
too
My
hard.
bad.
No,
I'll
you're right. No, you're right. It's
be
just
quiet.
you're right, Dan. I'm bad. I know.
Let's just agree. So in creator expert, we need the buildings as modulars. We need the cars.
Yes.
We need the theme park
And Winter Village.
and Winter Village. Anything else?
I'm gonna adjust this list after this is all done too, and like add some. So when people use this tier maker, like you can use this
Yeah.
and use it in your videos and whatnot
And
too
we
if you
can
want.
do this again some other streams as well. We can always add or update it or do
Yeah.
more in the future.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a 3-hour long process. But, let me go and do a quick one here. I'm going to use the facilities, then we're going to get into the dicey stuff. All right. Look at all Brian's hair. Is that the look of a guy that has all his stuff together?
Absolutely. I mean,
Oh, it is extra today.
It
he's in
is
the-
extra. Look at this.
when you go to Wikipedia and like a guy
my
that has
goodness.
stuff together, and there's a Brian's picture next to it.
How do we not have Lego Super Mario in Hall of Fame tier, everybody?
Please stop talking like that.
Oh man.
It's your crazy Lego uncle.
All right, let's do a non-polarizing one. Then we're gonna get this chat excited. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go with Mixels.
Oh, wait. Before we do that, Herman Stad, I think that's how you pronounce the last part, said Stranger Things. I would not add that there
No.
because it was only one set.
One
That
set,
it's not
yeah.
worth adding at all.
So maybe we can do like Lego IP direct to consumer.
But no, it's not worth. It's not worth
There'll be
because,
like Ecto
it's not-
One and the Batmobile.
Well,
But that would go in
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, so it's not worth doing a whole separate
Yeah,
category
true
for it.
that.
Well,
So
hold-
Stranger Things was like one set and that's
And
it.
the exclusive.
Tim is right. I forgot about that one too. The Chinese New Year sets. That's another great one. I
Oh.
should have done that.
Oh,
I'll
right.
add that too.
It's fairly
Um,
fresh too.
Let's do with Mixels right here. Where are we going to rank Mixels?
Oh,
Lower
I
than-
re- I
lower
really
than
like
Brickhead's
Mixels a lot.
100%.
B.
C.
that
I think
ball
it-
joint.
Yeah, the
is
ball joint
Yeah,
can
huge.
change everything.
the ball joints were
They made
are
the
very
bell-
useful.
they made the ball joints happen, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's a
And they're
big
really
one.
cute looking too.
Yeah, I think B is good. I don't see why C. I mean, and even from like a mock standpoint,
Okay.
there are we allowed to go with the mock standpoint or no?
No, basing it off of the products itself.
Just off the product
I will
itself.
be right back.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it definitely was an affordable, quick grab, right? Like you could just be like,
Yeah, it
oh,
was
that
like a
looks like it's
polybag,
got some
yeah.
cool pieces in it, or you
Mhm.
know, whatever.
Yeah.
And again, the ball joints to me are everything. Like that is a huge point in its favor for whatever category it ultimately ends up going into.
Okay, fair enough. So
I don't
so
know
it's-
though. I mean, in a lot of way, I agree. The ball joint certainly that, but that's just kind of one piece at the end of the day. I mean, there was no kind
Right.
of overarching storyline really, unless I'm misremembering. I mean, in a lot of ways, outside of the ball joint, it's a very forgettable theme to me.
Okay.
So I would say like C because yeah, it does have that ball joint and maybe some nice pieces. But I mean, to me, a big part of ranking something higher and you get into the B and A level is kind of the history of the theme, how long lived it was, how well known, the iconic, the storyline, sort of that kind of thing that starts playing into it as well.
That being said,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was somebody said in the chat earlier. So you can't grade a paper, but only on one sentence, right? So you can't grade this. You can't grade the line on one piece.
Mhm.
So the ball joint is great, and it did a lot, but I don't think it pushes it up into like a B or an A category
But
at
they
all.
were selling very well. Like I started working at the Lego store when the Mixels were at their eve of cancellation.
Mhm.
And they were just disappearing from the shelf. They were like the first thing people grabbed from that gift center because they were just small poly bags hanging by other things. That was before Brickheads. That was before any of those like smaller affordable themes. Mixels were just gone every day. Like we would get a stock and they were just selling like hotcakes every day.
Yeah.
So I think that also justifies the popularity pretty much.
So
I think
have
it's
it
like
in,
a C.
I have it in B at least for right this second.
Yeah. I
Let's-
think B is solid, yeah.
Let's get people excited. I want to summon the
Excited
spirit,
or angry?
Oh,
maybe. I want to summon the spirit of David Hall for this discussion. I'm going to rub my hands together and hope he's out there. Maybe he'll enlighten us with his opinion and justify Star Wars ranking higher because I think this is nowhere near the top echelon. I'm not.
Hall of Fame. Come on.
Get out of here.
Hall of Fame.
It's got to be Hall of Fame,
Hall of
Brian.
Fame.
I mean,
Brian, look at the. I mean, come on.
You're
Brian, you know I'm not like a massive Star Wars
Yeah.
fan, but
You're
I'm-
paying 30% premium for the Disney tax. That General Grievous Starfighter is $80 when it should be
You're
$40.
judging by one set
That happens a lot.
of 20 years of history. 22
happens
years of
a
history.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna,
23 years of history.
and also, you know, it was one of the IPs that helped save the company from bankruptcy. It's got a huge following. I mean, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, and I hate the fact that they just keep putting out the same
No, it's
shit
just-
over and over and over again. But it
Over-
definitely deserves its place high up on the list.
It does. I'm over sensationalizing, obviously, but I mean, like, Star Wars does not come out with consistently good sets. They're either re-releases or outrageously overpriced.
Star Wars have good years, Star Wars have bad years, but you cannot deny 23 years of history.
You guys are looking at this as the adult perspective, okay? So say you're my age, say you've got a 7-year-old, and that 7-year-old is like, Dad, show me something that you like. I pop in A New Hope. Oh my God, Dad, I want an X-Wing or I want a Millennium Falcon.
Mhm.
Yes, the re-releasing these sets. It's not for us. I could care less about owning 7 Millennium Falcons.
Yeah.
But Jimmy, who just saw Star Wars for the first time, I'll go out and buy my possible son the new $40 X-Wing. I might already have one. I might have two, as a matter of fact. But if Jimmy wants one, then it's toys that I grew up with as a kid. And I'm not a big Star Wars set person. Yes, I have a Star Wars shirt on. Yes, I have Star Wars figures in the background. But I'm not a big Star Wars set person. But I appreciate that there's always going to be that availability of an iconic ship for those kids that are just getting into it. And adults ruin it by trying to buy as many as they can. So it's whatever.
No,
You guys have to remember. Sorry, Ryan. Real quick, you guys have to remember that this team lived through 23 years of changes, of Disney buyouts, of changing the history of new directors going the movies. We are talking about movies from 1970s going up to the 2020s, right? 21st century. And this team lived through all that. So it was also driven by decisions by Lucasfilm, by Disney, and it's still strong. So remember that the legacy.
Well,
Yeah.
I have to say, having been
Yeah.
a kid sitting in the front row when the first movie, when A New Hope first
Yeah.
came out, when it was just called Star Wars, I am amazed at the longevity. Like, I'm still, that's a long time for a franchise, a really, really long time, and it's, it has its merits. And look at they've revitalized it with the Mandalorian, and that Mandalorian sold some sets, I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
at least they're trying to evolve it now past
Right.
same 10 ships. But I agree with Jeff, like that is that's and this is long before Star Wars, but that was the Disney model. Like when I was a kid in the movie theater, Disney released their movies out to the theater every 7 years. So Snow White, when it played every 7 years, so that a new generation of kids coming up would get to see the movies. And it's hung on to, and I think that's very much the same thing that's happening with the Star Wars sets.
You guys know, chat is saying it's a B, but are you guys looking at the past year or something? Are you past Clone Wars? Are you everybody forgot about Clone Wars at this point? What's going on? Guys UCS sets? Come on!
Right. I mean,
It's
the
a Hall
number
of
of
Fame.
incredibly
23 years.
iconic sets. I mean, that first UCS Millennium Falcon, when that first came out, was just insane. Like the size of that set. I don't think we had ever really seen anything like that before.
But we've
from
seen
Lego.
the remake,
I mean,
and it's even better.
Just incredibly iconic sets like that that were unlike of a size and scale unlike anything Lego had ever done before. I think this has got to be Hall of Fame.
You know what it
cannot be.
You know what it reminds me of? When that UCS set came out, that first UCS Millennium Falcon, I was sitting in my living room and I was looking at my Star Wars collectibles before I sold most of them. And I picked up my Millennium Falcon from the 80s, from Empire Strikes Back, that version of the Falcon. And I looked at that UCS set and I looked at what I was holding in my hands, and it brought back so much nostalgia, and it reminded me so much of why I love Star Wars. So, I hate to say this because I don't want to advocate for Star Wars at all, but it deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. It does.
Let's just check the points here.
Hall of Fame right this second, but
A towards Hall of Fame. Let's just sum it up. Nostalgia, check. Collectible sets, check. Iconic sets, check. Longevity, check. What else? Good minifigures, the biggest collection of minifigures if somebody collects them, check.
Save the company from bankruptcy.
Saves the company from bankruptcy along that other deal. Other deal we shall not talk about, but
that's not a point we're using, because Bionicle also saved the company, and it's not
That's what I'm saying.
Another major,
all
massive
those
factor
checks,
is I
check
think
marks.
of every theme Lego's ever made, Star Wars has definitely brought more non-Lego people into
absolutely.
Lego
Yes,
than any other
100%.
theme, for sure.
And somebody said in the chat that the UCS 2017 Millennium Falcon brought the big bucks to adults and brought the people to collect Lego on a more serious basis, I think.
And that's the thing. I think the problem with Star Wars is it's polarizing, because you have your Star Wars lovers and you have your Star Wars haters. So if you take both of them out of the equation and then just have people that enjoy Star Wars for what it is, like I'm not a Star Wars lover or a hater as far as the sets go. I enjoy Star Wars and I own a couple of play sets. the Y-wing is one of my favorites, but I have got quite a few of the UCS sets. And again, I go back to what I said before with the Brickheads, is like there's this cross appeal of different levels of interest within the Star Wars community. You can be hardcore and have all the play sets and own every single one because you love it that much. You can collect the UCS ones because they're amazing sets. They're sculptural. They look really nice on display. But you go to any Lego show anywhere in the world, and I guarantee you there is always a massive Star Wars display.
Oh, absolutely.
Without
yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
It has to be Hall of Fame.
I think the list of things that makes
Hi,
Hall
Josh.
of Fame is way too long. It's like we all agree on so many things on this.
Okay,
gotta be
so
Hall of Fame.
I'm not the Star Wars lover number one. I understand its importance, and I've had many Star Wars sets over my years. I still buy Star Wars. I understand it. I like the price point of the new sets and everything else. It's just when it's not a banger of a set, like a really, really great value for every like X-Wing at 40 or 50 bucks that we get. There's also this super overpriced like whatever set that doesn't move the needle in any way. And I want to see more consistency now that we have the Mandalorian, revisit the Clone Wars, do this, do that. Like, I think that once we get like the gunship as a UCS, I hope that kind of ushers in just more variety of Star Wars sets. Like, yeah, there is a place for the Millennium Falcon and X-Wing to always be on shelves. Sure, that's fine. But also give like something exciting and new that's going to get people like just not just another gray ship. I want more not gray ships, like whatever that is. Like,
But
even
they're-
the Razor Crest, I like it. I really enjoyed building the set. It's still all gray, which is why I think in season 3 it's going to come back same way, except a new color scheme, and that'll be the UCS set. But that's just me speculating. I know nothing. But
They did something right because they made you buy a Star Wars set because of that downsized line, right? They kind of like got you into it.
that was
Yeah.
the Mandalorian. That was the Mandalorian.
But you said
that
you,
caught
you
me
got
by.
the X-wing and the smaller
And
TIE
the
fighter.
X-Wing, yes.
So
and
they
I've
made
had
something
X-Wings
right.
before.
Yeah.
So okay, A for sure. I understand its importance. That's just me, poking the bear. Let's go with Forestman, Joshua A. Hall of Fame.
It's definitely not Hall of Fame. It's just, it was too short-lived to be Hall of Fame. I think it's really unique among Lego themes and even among like the medieval Lego themes. I still don't think they've ever really done another kind of Robin Hood type theme like that. I think you got like really cool base plates with it. Kind of the very playable theme for sure. A lot of playability there. So I don't even know if it's A though. I feel like it's a B theme to me, even as someone who really loves it. There weren't a ton of sets in it. But I think that it had some fun playability and some cool base plates. And it tied in really nicely with other medieval themes. So I would say it's a B. But I don't know what everyone else thinks.
Real quick, Tamagotchi says, yeah, trains is a major theme. Why is it not on here? There's 80 themes on here, and I did this at 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's just rank what we got. Thank you. I'm going to add more after the fact. So, yeah. I have no experience with Forestman,
so
so.
that you wouldn't forget anything.
All right.
I was up with you at 3, and you had that big long list that I gave you.
Yeah, but it didn't have everything.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't. Where's Forestman going?
I don't know.
It's a definite B for me. It's definitely not an A. But I think it can solidly be in the B category as among all of the many different castle themes we've gotten over the decades. I think it's one of the most unique and brought something very different to the table. That is still, and I think it's also something that just so many, especially really kids and adults, can identify with. The Robin Hood idea and all of that, just such a iconic like story and like way of playing, ambushing the bad guys and everything in the forest and all of that kind of stuff. I think is something that's very iconic and very accessible to a lot of kids and adults when playing with stuff. So that's why I like it.
Chad is saying B as well, so I'll toss it in B.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Now, you heard me talk about Lego Star Wars being a little overpriced or whatever. How do we feel about Lego City? A lot of these price to part ratios are a little
Whew, the city's expensive, man.
Anyone
And-
got a good opinion on this? B.
Huge legacy, very expensive now.
Yeah.
Huge legacy, bigger than most, I guess.
Flynn.
Yes.
Any opinion?
Opinion on City.
I'm just trying to get something from someone here. You usually have an opinion on something, so I'm like,
I do have lots
Everybody
of
has opinion.
opinions. I think, golly, well, I mean, it's been around for a long time, and it does add essential things, especially for people who love to like build a Lego city, of which there's a lot of. It provides a lot of that, like filler stuff for people. But I do agree, it's gotten really pricey. But again, like for a certain age group, like for the age group it's targeted for, it's a really solid line, I think.
I still like
I
the
mean,
city
the
line.
sales
I'm
don't
old.
lie.
Brian, so does this include like literally the entire history of Lego City, like going all? Because I mean, it's to me that's got to be an A. If you're talking about the
Yeah.
entirety of Lego City from the
Are we
very
going-
beginning,
Back to Lego Town, say? from the
okay,
80s?
so here's what it would be, Mike. So I didn't make the subdivision for town because I didn't, whatever. So city is anything branded Lego City. So that would fall with police, fire, ambulance, the farm line. That was a one-off. Coast Guard, construction,
Those Arctic sets, probably jungle
Arctic
exploration.
sets. Correct. Yep, all that.
Yeah.
Town and city are different. Town, yes,
Yeah.
it is different. I agree with Brixar.
True
It is
that.
different. It's just not on here.
Yeah, I don't want to throw that in the same bag. That's a mistake for sure. But
So that means some trains has to fall into this category.
Correct.
As well.
true, yeah, train like cargo trains, passenger trains.
Yeah.
Yep.
This
To me,
has got
this
to
is-
be at least a B.
I mean,
at
I
least.
to
think
at least be B.
We gotta give it an A for just how much it brings to the table anyway over the
Yeah.
years. Like maybe people say it's going downhill right now, which I agree. I think price wise, there is no justification. Like okay, there is no like license tax on it or anything like that. Moreover, it's supported by Lego's own shows like the Undercover, whatever. But there is no justification for that price jump. Star Wars, you can say like, oh, it's a Disney tax, but City is not. City is just like, I don't know, Lego being a bit greedy. Who knows? But yeah.
Logan Film in the chat says mining, volcano, and jungle are all city has to bump it up to a higher status because of the diversity of it and how many years it's been around. I think it
Yeah.
has to be A.
and to me,
Yeah.
it's just there's nothing more iconically
Space
Lego
exploration
than
was
That's
City
exactly.
sets.
It is quintessential Lego.
Right.
Yeah.
That blue-
It's like,
that
it's
blue
like
box.
if Lego had a name, it's like Lego City. If you think
Yeah.
about it, or like Lego
agree.
Classic and Lego City, pretty much.
No, I have no objection here. I think
It makes an A.
right.
Space exploration was City as well, like Mars missions.
Let's go with Creator 3-in-1 re-rank. That was what, B? I think before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a B, I think. Yes.
Okay, so this one, Disney, I obviously feel a little bit wonky on because there's Disney princesses, there's Disney, Mickey, Minnie Mouse, there's like the Castle, the minifigure series.
Direct
but-
to consumers. Yeah.
yeah, so like I think like the Castle, Mickey and Minnie, I think those are great. The minifigure series are some of the best minifigures Lego has ever come
True.
out with.
Mm-hmm.
True.
It's at least a B to me.
Yeah, I think so.
And
Minimum.
it's, again, kind of like Star Wars. It's one of those themes that would draw in people who maybe weren't necessarily into Lego to begin with. Like Disney fans are, they're just like any other, big type of thing like that people are into. People who are into Disney are really into Disney.
Yes.
Yes.
And like the whole family is
Yeah.
into it. And
It's a culture of its own, kind of.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it definitely feels like it drew another one of those things that probably drew a lot of people into
Yeah.
the hobby that wouldn't have otherwise been into it.
Yeah, just to say this on this show here, any like hardcore Disney fan makes any hardcore Lego fan look like a fair weather Lego fan. Disney people are hardcore.
So true.
Hardcore.
True.
Oh my
They're
God.
like extra hardcore when they work in a Disney World or
Yup.
Disneyland.
They-
They're
they-
like, crazy about it.
Don't
Which
mess
is-
with
it's like-
Disney people.
It
Oh, yeah.
blows my mind that like how
Yeah, they go
Disney
all in.
fans-
They're like, we're not sitting here dressed up as like a Lego brick. They would. We go like all Mickey Mouse panel if we were like all Disney, like
Okay,
crazy people.
I want to address something in the chat. So R0SH Rosh is saying like Disney CMF is still CMF. So like it depends on the caveats you want to attribute it to. Like, yes, it is still minifigures, but it also is a licensed minifigure thing. I personally see it as like there is a Lego movie. Like if you were collecting Lego Movie 2, right? Would you say I'm not collecting the minifigures because that's a part of the minifigure series? Well, it still has Lego Movie 2 on the branding, but no, that's minifigures. So like, where do you draw your line? Everybody can be a little bit different, but some of these different products can cross over into two separate themes. So although Disney minifigures are a part of minifigures, technically it's a Disney theme. So is the castle. So is whatever. So
Yeah, we're throwing somebody else if we are adding the castle. Yes, we are. The castle, the train station.
Yep.
Yes.
Mickey and Minnie.
Exactly. Those
Yeah,
are
that
the
train
ones.
station was awesome.
Yeah, great.
It sold like garbage. They had it on sale Black Friday like 3 times.
I know, it wasn't selling very well, was
No.
it?
Well, it was very expensive.
It was also
Yeah.
launched in like, wasn't it launched in the middle of like lockdowns and people just saving money
Did it?
actually?
No.
No.
No, it was
No.
before? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't realize it sold that poorly.
It was like, I saw it like on the shelves forever in the Lego stores.
Well, compared to the castle, it's not going to
Yeah.
sell anywhere near as
yeah,
well.
yeah, true that.
Put this A or B.
I'd say B.
B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go through a couple of these a little bit more quickly here.
Let's
Um,
go with a theme, because I
Maybe
think
something from Old
I don't-
Space.
Oh, well, I mean, if you want to go there, we can. It's fine.
Like we have Spyro's Ice Planet, we have
Sure.
Blacktron, Mtron. We gotta put those somewhere.
Do we have time cruisers yet?
No, Time Cruisers, no.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I'm saying you have Blacktron, Mtron, Spyro's. I think those kind of go along each other. Explorians, Ice Planet.
Yep.
I think they all should be like kind of the same tier, kinda.
No,
No.
no.
Is there
Okay.
anyone besides Jeff that objects with that?
Okay.
Wait,
Do you
I
even have
missed
Classic
it.
Space there? Do we have Classic Space?
You should. Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe let's go through the big one, the Classic Space now.
And the only reason I'm saying with the different themes all kind of fitting the same bill is we kind of already went through this discussion on the 40th or the vote, the 90th anniversary vote.
Yeah.
So like I don't want to spend too much time going through every single little one.
Yeah, true that.
Jeff, which one do you think of these sort of caliber themes ranks higher than the other ones? Blacktron, Ice Planet.
Ice Planet.
Okay, so let's say Ice Planet is B. Everything else would be C.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ice Planet would be B. Blacktron, B, right?
Does anything deserve an A from this, guys?
No.
I don't think so.
Let's think.
No, it doesn't.
No.
All of those
not,
lines.
not from these sub themes. No, I don't think you can say any of these are A.
Okay.
So
All of
let's
those
say,
lines only lasted like 2 or 3 years at the most. Aquazone needs to be an A. It's not the same as space.
Aquazone is amazing. I
Yeah.
love Aquazone.
Aquazone.
But that's nostalgia speaking.
The
through
one you
me,
just
so-
put in C.
Yeah,
Oh.
you just.
This
Yeah,
has to be an A.
There is
Yeah.
nostalgia speaking through me. There was a
That's
great.
not an
theme.
A. No.
Wait, anybody in chat? A?
No, we just did a whole show about
I mean, I
Aquazone.
would put Ice Planet on A if I was me, but.
I
but
mean, I
that's just
think
me.
Aquazone did bring some interesting parts to the table, but overall, it was some of them were very uninspired, and some of them looked like they just threw everything they had at it. They were like, just keep putting more parts on it. Just keep putting more parts on it.
Yeah, Flender.
So
right.
hear me out. Like, if we're adding these, I think Classic Space should be higher than any of these, just because of being a precursor.
Okay, so what if Classic Space is on the same caliber as Ice Planet and Blacktron?
Classic Space might be even A, honestly.
The builds weren't that. Oh.
Like, it started it all, you know? Kinda.
So, but does Aquazone compete with the same caliber as the modulars and minifigures and ideas?
No.
No, it does not.
Aquazone should be B at least.
Okay, so B.
Is Aquazone really that well? I mean, to me, it's just another one of the many kind of underwater themes Lego has done. I don't.
It was
really
a bit
feel like-
different. It was a bit different.
So, Joshua, the reason that that's like so popular or whatever with people that are quote unquote my age or a little bit younger is because it was one of the first play themes that we actually. It wasn't space. It wasn't the 100th version of the Blacktron Avenger or whatever. It was definitely something new and something interesting because at the time the Abyss came out, Leviathan came out, all of these underwater films came out. And when you're 10, 11 years old, those are adventure films for you. So you're watching them and then you see something that's mimicking that. That's why it's popular. That's why it was so fun, and that's why it still holds a lot of in our hearts and everything else, and the fact that they used space parts, quote unquote, to build submarines that were amazing. That's all I can really say about it. Like, everybody remembers the colors of Aquanauts, the original Aquanaut, which was yellow and blue and black.
Mhm.
And it's just one of those things. Like, if people just liked it when they were, the right age to be playing with it. Like, I played with the big Aquazone or Aquanaut submarine like every day, and I was in like junior high. Of course, I got beat up a lot in junior high too for that reason. But I mean, it was still just one of those things. It was just a cool, fun line.
Tomogachi saying Classic Space should be A because it begun the rest of the space themes. You're not basing it off of that. You got to base it on the product itself and what it is, not for what it. Because by that logic, you could change up this entire list.
Yeah.
And you got to base it for what it is. And there are objectively better space-related themes on here that blow that out of the water.
Yeah, Classic Space builds are garbage.
Sorry.
Yeah, they're like looking from that perspective, they're not good. But because like Lego was such less advanced back then,
I mean, they were created
very
for its
basic.
time. Yeah, they're created for its time.
for its time they were innovative.
Right.
So
Let me advocate for one here to be higher than most. Exoforce, I want in B. I think they're
I
excellent.
agree. I think that's definitely a B theme. Super cool sets. The storyline was fantastic. Really different sets than almost any other theme. Certainly that Lego's really ever done, but definitely up to that point. I think really definitely a B theme.
I'm sorry for Zoom.
Do you have Space Police on the list, by the way?
I do right here, actually.
Oh, okay. So Space Police is a big one in space.
Yep.
That's a big one. That's a B.
I think it's a B. Yeah, I could see that.
Like 3 series of Space Police, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Lone Ranger?
B. Those builds were amazing.
C.
Yeah,
It's
there
the
were
same.
some great builds, but I don't know if it's B level. I mean,
Same as Scooby Doo, same as
Oh.
Pharaoh's Quest. It was cool, but there wasn't enough of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I'm just going to interrupt for a second. I have to go, actually.
See you, Mike.
Thank you so much for everything. That's a pretty cool list. I'm gonna probably catch up on when you guys finish, see where you guys at. But so far, it's a pretty cool stream. So thanks for everything.
Of course.
talk to you later.
Take
See you,
care,
Mike.
guys. Appreciate it.
See you, Mike.
Okay, so I'll toss this in C for right now. Dino 2010, any feelings? Polarizing?
See.
C.
C. Atlantis.
Oh,
B.
B. It's so good. There's so many. There's such good sets, and those minifigures, the villain minifigures, are just extraordinary.
Let's go with Technic.
Wipe.
So again, does this take into account like the entire history of like the 40, 50 years we have of Technic up to this point?
Yeah,
I think it has to go in A.
Right. That's got to be
Yeah.
A.
Yeah.
There's no way that isn't A.
I thought about making a subdivision for like the Technic supercars, but I didn't feel like that.
It all counts. Despite the fact that sometimes Technic can be very annoying to put together, it's still a great
Yeah.
theme, and the models look fantastic.
Let's go with Vikings.
B.
I think it's B.
I think it's B. I still don't understand why we don't have more Viking sets. It's
Yeah.
such a tragedy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a Danish company. Come on. I mean, how much
Right.
better can it get?
Sports,
Well-
which includes this is football, this is hockey, this is basketball from the 2000s.
Joshua, you're on fire today. That's a
I
C,
would-
by the way.
I don't know. I would
I'd
argue
go
that we
D.
know so much more about Vikings now
do you
in the
really?
general
Alright.
public than we did maybe when these sets came out. That maybe they might not make.
Right. No,
Make
that
them
is
now.
true. I know why. Yeah. But it'd be so great.
It would no. I agree. I think they're really great, and actually like, especially like in video games and popular culture, they received like a small niche status. I think is that there was that show Vikings, and then we got the new God of War game, which like delved heavily into like Norse mythology and like that kind of stuff. So we seeing a lot of and then of course we just got Assassin's Creed Valhalla just came out. So it's definitely like a thing. It didn't reach like, zombie level of stuff, but yeah.
Okay.
I do like the style.
So we leave it in B. Sports, like
C. I think that's a C. I mean, there is some unique, like the whole soccer field and the way that the game mechanic works and everything is unique. I don't really feel like they've done anything else like that. So there was some very unique stuff there, and also just because it's sports, it's different than what they've done. Using like the basketball sets with real players and everything.
Well, I was going to say, isn't it the first? Aren't the sports sets what ushered in the like quote unquote flesh tones, as opposed to yellow? Am I wrong about that?
no, it was Harry Potter.
Star Wars, wasn't it?
Oh, it might
I
be
know
Star Wars.
I know Star Wars, but I thought the sports ones did as well.
Well, a lot of that stuff came out around like very similar time period, so I think it probably was a factor of several of those sets. All came out. The early Harry Potter, early Star Wars, and sports were all like early 2000s, like very similar time periods.
Original Harry Potters had yellow figures.
Sure.
Yep. So did Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with Mars Mission.
I loved this theme growing up. I had a lot of the sets as a kid, but it wasn't anything like crazy. I mean, it's similar to other space themes that have been made. So I don't know, maybe a B though, maybe probably more a C because there were cool sets in it, but nothing that I remember being particularly groundbreaking with it.
Well, I mean, okay. So I just remember that the Lego Ambassador program, Mars Mission, was like one of the first ones that let fan designers help design some of those sets, and like, I don't know, it was neat for that fact alone, and that led into ideas, and that led into yada yada and all that stuff, but like,
But the sets themselves.
yeah. Oh man, if I say
Was Mars Mission the one that brought in the tubes with
Yes.
you smack the thing and it would send the alien thing up the tube? That was pretty cool.
That
you
was,
know,
but
and
had we gotten that before? We'd had that tube.
I don't know.
in a previous.
This is all my
Mars
Dark
space
Age
stuff, right?
yeah, Life on Mars,
Right.
was,
So that's why I thought of that same thing, Dan. I had that set with the tubes, and I thought it was super fun. But it was very similar to the previous Life on Mars stuff that we'd gotten. So that's why, I was kind of thinking there wasn't anything like real groundbreaking there.
C.
yeah, this is my Dark Age stuff this era. So
yeah.
I think C is right.
In a similar vein, Alien Conquest. C.
I think even D. That's a very forgettable theme.
Really D.
Was Galaxy Squad
About-
added to this or no?
Galaxy Squad was left out. Yeah.
Okay.
Alien Conquest had some pretty awesome ship designs. Like those bug ship
love the
designs
big-
were
the big
really
mothership.
amazing.
I love that one.
That big fly, or like those big bugs
Uh-huh.
were pretty cool designs.
Brian, you're really doing a number to Fazoom here, just so you know.
Okay, well, sorry for Zoom. Hey, you can get a link to this tier maker yourself if you want to do this on your show. Link is bam. You can put classic space and everything else in F tier if you want to. Go for it. Link is in the chat. It'll be in the description as well. All right. Alien Conquest I put in C, I guess. Okay, so I know I put Disney and I should have also put Cars as well, but I got Toy Story here. Toy Story C.
D.
D.
Really?
Easy. D.
Yeah.
Really? All right.
Yeah, I don't. object.
Wow.
Yep.
All right.
I mean, did they bring what? Okay, did they bring anything significant to the table?
Long legs.
True. But-
And one figure that they'll never do again.
That's about it.
No,
Right.
you're absolutely right. But I'm just thinking of the customizers that use those legs for better things. But besides that, I got nothing.
D Cheswa in the chat is like, "Where's Ben 10?" Intentionally left off this list.
Yeah, and plus it was very short lived. That's not even
Yeah,
worth it
no,
anymore.
we're good. We're good.
Ben
In my
10
mind, I always get Ben 10 and Hero Factory mixed up. Like
Good.
I think in my mind, I always think they're almost the same thing.
They're all pretty much the same thing. The whole contraction sort of part idea. It's all the same.
Ben 10 would have been a wipe anyway, mate. So
Yeah. I will say-
I mean,
This is a very good point with the Toy Story sets. The Toy Soldiers set, amazing. That was really cool. Like as an army builder, to get those green army guys, super cool.
But that was just okay, Joshua. I don't want to argue with you because we're sort of friends, and I have a lot riding on this relationship. But that was just sort of the excuse that all the like war builders needed to be like, war toys, you know, and like then they would scoop them all up, and then you'd have like a Vietnam scene, and you're like, nobody wants to see Vietnam built out of Lego except for like maybe 3,000 dudes. Just saying.
I want to.
Yeah, hey, you're one of the 3,000 then. Consider yourself magical.
What about kingdoms that I think that featured the goat, right?
Sure.
Yes. And it had the medieval village marketplace, which was a great set.
Kingdoms was about the last actual medieval castle theme we got, wasn't it? Was that about the
Yeah.
last?
There was
Yep, I think it
Castle as
was.
well in 2013, but
yeah, and because of that, it has to be a D because I don't have any of it, and it's too expensive for me to buy now. And they've never reproduced the goat, so it's a D for me, if not a wipe. I need to wipe that from my memory because I don't have a goat. Just in case you didn't hear, I don't have a goat.
They're really working through some deep psychological struggles here.
so
Dan
the
makes
joust,
valid points.
the
I'm not
joust
going to tell
set that
Dan I have
featured-
two.
Yeah, the
Oh,
goat's triggering. Triggered.
the joust set that I featured in the thumbnail here is one of my favorite sets that I've ever seen from like a Kingdoms anything. They're all beautifully done sets, so I would say either B or A actually for this.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wish they'd revisit this.
I think B is a good. I don't think it's not a. I don't think it's iconic enough for A level.
Well, remember A, it can be like quality of it, but then there's also Hall of Fame we haven't even touched yet.
That's true.
That's because you refuse to put anything in there.
No, because we're doing
we're
that.
gonna
last-
wait for after.
That's also what I said.
No, it wasn't. Okay, we have a couple more left. Knight's Kingdom. I grew up with Knight's Kingdom, but I know it's poo-poo, so we can put it in D.
Can I just comment for that?
I think it's C. There were a lot of sets in that theme. There was some cool stuff. I mean, you had both like minifigure and construction type builds in that theme. There were some cool castle sets. I agree though, Brian. I also grew up with it, and I think that colors my opinion for sure.
I don't have any connection to it except for the fact that I've read like some book that they had for it. That's all I know.
I think
was
C
it-
myself.
Wasn't Knight's Kingdom? It was that's just a Knight's version of Bionicles, wasn't it?
You basically.
Oh.
There was like
Yeah,
some
never heard of it.
Jaco or something.
But
like
there
that.
were a
So-
lot of minifigure sets as well. It wasn't just the construction.
Was it?
Right.
There were a lot of
really?
minifigure sets.
I don't know.
Right.
It doesn't even hit on my radar. Dark Age.
I'll put it in D because
See, Jeff, the problem is all of my iconic childhood themes were during your dark age, so you just can't understand it.
we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Let's save that. I don't know if Jeff is coming back. Let's save that because I know he's
TMNT.
like a bit. Yeah.
All right, so Adventurers.
Oh,
This
so-
includes Orient Expedition.
Oh man, I don't know.
I think a B is a
Wait,
fair.
hold on. This chat is saying wipe. Are you serious? No, wait, that's TMNT. That's TMNT.
No.
I thought you were saying Adventurers.
Oh.
No, that's for TNT.
Okay.
I was about to ban all of you.
See, I mean, you guys know how much I love Adventurers, but is it an A? So that's the thing I struggle with.
Man,
Man, I don't know.
I don't think it's an A. I think it's got to be in a B. If you look at the other B options, you've got Kingdoms in there, which was some really nice looking sets.
Well, we can bump
You've got Ghostbusters in there. It's going to be on a par with that. Was it as good as a modular building? No way.
No, but remember, some of these are going to get bumped up to Hall of Fame. Like Modulars, I think, will be in the Hall of Fame.
A lot of the A's might get bumped up to Hall of Fame, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Adventure's a solid B for sure. If not, like,
yeah,
you know,
definitely a solid B.
It's like high, like first place B.
yeah, it's like high up on the B. Yeah, for sure.
Let's not put it in front of Lord of the Rings. That's
Okay, fine, Dan.
let's not
just
go
do that and
crazy.
Call it a day.
second. Yeah, second is okay.
We only got a couple left. Alpha Team.
Don't know it.
That's got to be a C or a D.
Yeah,
surely.
it's a C. I mean, it was pretty short lived. There was some cool stuff there, but
There was a lot of controversy.
SpongeBob.
Does everyone know the Alpha Team controversy with the instruction books?
I do. I have that set.
Do you have the original instruction book?
I do have the original instruction booklet.
Nice.
We
Easy to
have.
get now.
Yeah, right.
Now I need to know what this is about. All right.
We'll tell you after stream. There's
Okay,
yeah,
sounds good.
the
It could be
SpongeBob.
very triggering otherwise.
Yeah, C probably. Yeah.
yeah. Were any of the sets?
Oh,
actually
see,
good?
that's generous.
Right. See, where
Okay.
the Sponge. I mean, if you remove it from the show, were the sets even very good in
All right.
SpongeBob?
So D,
Trash.
fine. D. D.
Yeah, Brian.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
it's up there with
Right.
the Toy Story Studios. Wipe or D.
Come on.
Oh no.
What?
What? That was
Oh.
trash.
See, I think C is good.
Well, I mean, personally for me, it was like it's the monster thing. So I at least like the monster sets I thought were interesting, but they weren't, like I put one together not too long ago. And I mean, it's not like, innovative in any way, I wouldn't say, but it was still, it's fun for being a spooky theme, but I wouldn't give it a wipe for sure.
Wasn't there also like a function
What
with
are we
like, the
wiping?
camera?
Sorry.
We're talking about the studio.
Mhm.
Oh, Studios is at least a C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think C is fine.
I think that's fair.
Jeff,
Let's do
TMNT.
Ninja Turtles.
B.
No, Jeff.
Hmm.
Wait, Jeff, why do you say B?
Because some of the builds were really awesome in it. The figures were unique and different.
That is also true.
And-
On the bigger part.
I'm not going for the nostalgia bit here because I didn't buy most of the sets because I was like, I don't want to buy that crap.
Yeah.
But there was some great builds. The first wave of TMNT was a classic throwback to the Eastman comics. The second wave got to the more cartoonies. The third wave was the abysmal movie. But, there were some cool
Wait, are we
moments.
counting the movie, Brian, or no?
This counts the movie, and I think that's why a lot of the chat is saying wipe.
Yeah, because that's what everybody remembers.
Yeah.
Sorry, but there
I
was
don't
more
remember
than that.
I remember.
There's a reason I put Leonardo from the cartoon as the thumbnail.
Yeah,
Like,
because
that-
Leonardo's the best
Yeah.
Ninja Turtle.
Like I remember like the other sets that weren't associated with the movie. I only got the one set from the movie. I hated the movie.
Yeah, so did I. I say a B just because of it finally happened. It finally happened. People have been wanting Ninja Turtles forever.
I mean, the one thing I do wish would have happened with that though was it being more focused on I guess the original show versus like what they were going for, which was like the one that was on Nickelodeon at the
yeah,
time.
that was Nickelodeon.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Nickelodeon. But
So-
no, I agree. I completely agree. I just think it's a B. Like,
If not B, I would say C because it's kind of along the lines of like the whole Scooby Doo thing, where it's like
I agree.
kind of,
C seems
kind
a
of
good
short
place.
lived and just I don't know. Like
No, I agree with the Scooby Doo mentality. Like,
okay,
Yeah,
it's kind of up there with that.
it's slightly better than Toy Story and SpongeBob, but no
Yeah.
better than Scooby Doo.
and our final theme on the list, ladies, guys, and girls.
Can you just
Dionicle,
push it
where's
around
it
between a
going?
few categories?
Hall of Fame.
wipe,
Get out of
wipe,
Hall of Fame.
wipe.
Hall
Well,
of Fame.
it's been fun hanging out, guys. I'm gonna go.
Flynn avoiding the controversy. He can't be seen with this.
No,
Oh.
okay. Don't say Hall of Fame because it saved Lego. You're basing it off the product as it stands.
Why?
Okay?
Without Bionicle, we wouldn't have Lego as a company today. Simple.
No, judge
no,
the
I'm sorry.
product
This
for what it is.
no. This is going beyond the product. This
No.
product saved this ass. If this product didn't exist, we wouldn't be here today having this argument.
Care.
I don't care. This one. You just have to put it out of the box. I hate Bionicle. Okay, don't get me wrong. I hate Bionicle. I do. But it saved Lego's butt, and because of that, we are here today.
Hey, Flynn, how's
That's
the weather
my
in the Bay
argument.
Area today?
Oh, it's lovely. It's sunny out.
That's cool.
It's about the sets themselves.
I think even just on the sets themselves, I think you could give this an A. I mean, it was very long-lived, fantastic story, and the sets are very unique. I mean, they did something very different for a very long time. They brought a lot of people in. I would give this an A, and obviously, you guys know I'm not the biggest Bionicle fan, but
I also got. I mean, you gotta give it to like the dedication of people who like. Well, and because now when you were saying earlier about like the dedication of Disney people compared to Lego people, I think like the Bionicle would be like that level of Lego, like on that level, right? Like people are super dedicated to the theme, and frankly, like while I'm not a fan, I've seen some stunning builds made from in that style, like really beautiful. Like I think it's kind of in a way transcended what it was originally meant to be, and people have taken it to places that when I look at them, I go, that is the and I've seen people be able to mix it with system and everything. I know there's that big thing like you can't use it with system, but I've seen people use it with system and make some really and truly impressive things. And I know we're not supposed to be taking in mock building into it, but it has taken on a life of its own, right? Like it or hate it, it's taken on a life of its own.
I totally agree with you, Flynn. I totally agree 100%. And on top of that, it saved Lego Company. So
okay, so now that we have this list, go back to the full screen here if you could, John. Thank you. We have A, B, C, D, and wipe from memory. Does anybody have any objections either in the chat or in the StreamYard room otherwise to any of these placements here right now?
Did we put classic space in C? I think that should be moved up. I think that's a B theme. I mean, I'm not even a massive space fan by any means, but there are some great sets there that really I think brought a lot of people into Lego, and bringing space in to Lego in general has done a lot for them. And then I've built a number of the classic space sets. They're fun sets. There's a lot of like fun play features and everything with them. I think that's a B theme for me.
I think it's also a beloved theme, right? Like people really love. I mean, if people didn't love classic space, we wouldn't have had Benny, right? Like clearly there's a something there that people can relate to.
It's cross-generational as well. It's one of those themes that has brought adults back to Lego because they had classic space as a kid. You know, when was the last time you ever heard of anybody coming back to Lego who had those freaky round-headed, long, gangly-armed things? Man, no one came back to Lego after that. But if you had a Galaxy Explorer, hey, as a 30-year-old, you're back into it.
He's not wrong.
Lego David keeps saying Hero Factory needs to be in C. No, it doesn't.
No, that is wiped from memory.
We're good.
No.
Let's see.
Space Police needs to be up in a B or A category.
Space Police to A?
Well, it is in B.
It is in B.
Yeah, it still needs to be in an A category.
No. Listen, if any of those themes you're putting in A, it's got to be Exo Force. Exo Force is great.
Exo Force is way more unique than the Space Police sets were. Far more unique and original.
Let's talk about lasting power, John.
Well, but also compare it with the other things that are in the list that you want to move it to, right? Like if you want to move it from B to A, look at the other things in A and say, oh, is it better than these? The same? Less than?
Truth be told, I can't really make out what it says because Brian has the screen so small, and I have horrible
Dude,
eyesight.
I can't make it any bigger. Look,
That's what
look,
she
look.
did.
See, now it looks like this because of the website. So, like, what do you want me to do?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Did you write
exactly.
the code?
So
Did you just tell me to be quiet? That's rude.
I think Elves is great and could be an A.
I would not disagree with you. However, when I compare it to what like everything else that's up there, like for the most part, most of the stuff that that's an A are at this point iconic Lego brands.
Right.
With the exception of maybe Monster Fighters, but I made my case for why that should be higher up.
That's a great one.
But I don't know. I love, and because I'm a huge champion of Elves. I thought it brought a lot to the table. But if we're going for like popularity wise, I don't think the funny thing about Elves is I don't think people really came around to it until after it was gone.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Which is sad because it really, because I think it was, I don't know if this is maybe this is gonna sound weird, but it like bridged the gap of that area where like people who considered themselves serious Lego builders, like, oh, well, Friends is terrible. Oh, anything that with like colorful anything is terrible. And then all of a sudden there was this kind of like, it seemed like around the time I started getting involved in the hobby, there was this shift in going from like, oh, everything must be very, very serious to like, oh, actually we can include color and more fanciful parts and, more more imaginative color schemes that, and builds.
No,
I mean,
you're not wrong. No, not at all.
It was one of those themes that you didn't realize what you had missed until it was gone.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It's like, Elves or other things. I'll grab these other things because they're what I need at the moment. Elves looks cool though, and then it's gone, and like, oh no, I missed out on the Elf stuff.
Well, and of course, the big factor of why people poo-pooed Elves was because mini dolls, right? Like it was like mini dolls still had a real, and still do, of course, have like a stigma attached to them for a lot of people. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that kept, like if Elves had been made with minifigures, I bet you it would have been more popular.
I
mean, I'm not saying that they should have done it. I like what they did with it. I think that the mini doll shapes and stuff are, say Elves to me more than the kind of the blockier minifigure. But I still think it would have been more popular in the minds of collectors and people who are into that kind of thing if they had been done differently like that.
A lot of questions in chat about architecture. So just to clarify, I think Brian couldn't include like every single theme. I think he forgot that one, but that would definitely be at least an A-list theme for me.
Absolutely.
There's 80 Lego themes that I came up with over the course of like 4 hours. And I had the image for architecture. I added Speed Champions. When this stream is done, the list will be updated with architecture and a couple of the notable themes that people in the chat have noted about. And you can use it for yourself in your videos, etc. Okay?
And since we're moving into Hall of Fame discussion here, I think soon, Brian, right? I mean, I'll say for architecture for me is definitely a Hall of Fame theme. It's been going like 10 plus years at this point, captured like most of the world's most iconic buildings and landmarks. It has brought Lego into so many different spaces that Lego would have never been in terms of offices. And I think it really elevated the brand to almost an art that it did not have before you had Lego architecture sets. I think it moved it from being seen primarily as a children's toy to much more of something that you could display almost in an art gallery type environment with the architecture sets. And you look at that and then just how amazing the sets look and how well so many of those sets have captured the different architecture and landmarks that they've done over the years. To me, that's a Hall of Fame theme.
I would have to agree with you. I mean, it really does seem like the theme that kind of shifted from, shifted from a play set to an object that you put on a shelf or on your desk.
From a play set to a display set.
So what you're saying is that micro building was very important for architecture, but we wouldn't have micro scale unless we had Minecraft in the first place.
You keep saying that, Jeff. I need you to back up your sources there, okay? I need some like site because I've talked to however many countless builders in my time in the community. I've never once heard someone say that Minecraft started some kind of micro scale craze. People were building micro scale long before Minecraft has been around. I don't know where you're pulling that out from.
I don't know.
Trying to cause trouble.
Oh, I'm good. Okay.
Architecture in A, it's decided. At least.
Yes.
So now that we don't have any massive objections to this list, right?
Wow, we put brick sketches in D?
I think that was Vision who advocated for that.
No.
That was me. I put my hand up. I would have
yeah.
wiped it personally, but everyone else advocated for D.
Okay.
All right, so now that we have this, we now move into the Hall of Fame, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
If I look at this list, this is a solid list of all the Hall of Fame or Hall of A or Hall of A.
Yeah.
The one thing that I would advocate for most would be Harry Potter.
Cool.
For me.
Okay.
Why though? Why I think I would disagree is for Hall of Fame. I think it's A, but I think it's hard to say that Harry Potter is Hall of Fame.
I would say Hall of Fame because Harry Potter has been around for almost just as long as Star Wars and has been multi-generational, very influential in the sets, the style of sets going from the green roofs in the buildings and combining the castle and really facilitating that. That was one of the first times that you had a license that made that happen. And the newer Harry Potter sets, all of them are so fantastic, build-wise, part-wise, character-wise. Everything about them is like perfect. And like Hogwarts, the big micro scale one is fantastic. So is Diagon Alley. To me, there is not a single bad Lego Harry Potter set of the newest iteration that's come out. And because of how much people associate Lego with Harry Potter, I think it's the same, if not a little bit less, than Lego and Star Wars.
Okay, so here's my counter argument to that. First things first, Star Wars, when it came out as a license, it stuck around. It never went away. Harry Potter had, what, a 10-year hiatus? And then because...
Yeah.
It had a 5-year... It went away in 2013 and came back in 2018.
What year did Fantastic Beasts come out? Because that's when we started seeing new Harry Potter sets.
I thought it was a seven-year hiatus.
No.
But were there 3 total waves? Because there was like the yellow wave, and then there was
Fleshy wave,
and then the current ones. And I agree with Brian. The current ones are tops. Like they're really, really great. But some of the older ones, not so. Like that glow-in-the-dark Snape head, I still do not. I mean, actually, I did finally figure out what that was supposed to be and like why, but I was still that glow-in-the-dark Snape head still perplexes me to this day, even though I think I understand why they did that.
It haunts my dreams.
Syphilis says in the chat, who associates Lego with Harry Potter? Who are these people? You don't know how many adults and teenagers came into the Lego store when I was working. Where's Harry Potter? Where's Harry Potter? Where's Harry Potter? All the time.
I'll give you, Brian, your point about there's how the recent sets are very good, but at the end of the day, it's still just good sets based on an existing IP, and I don't feel like there's anything there that's been like super from any of the Harry Potter sets really like super boundary breaking or super kind of pushing the envelope. It's an existing IP, so it's not even like real creative because it's not their own. I mean, they're just basing it off of the movies.
But would you say that about Star Wars, Joshua?
This is what I was going to say.
I would say Star Wars has done super boundary breaking things. Like I mentioned earlier with the UCS Millennium Falcon, that was insane when they released that. I mean, by that
logic of a big Lego set, the Colosseum's #1. So like.
No, right, but the UCS Millennium Falcon was the first time they had done something of that size and scale and of that caliber. So what I'm saying is that there were sets in Star Wars that were very boundary breaking along those lines that I don't think Harry Potter has really given us. There have been some big sets there. That's my thought. I think it is a definite A theme. I think it's hard to say at this point from what Harry Potter has given us that it's a Hall of Fame theme.
So 2 things. Taj Mahal, did that come out before or after the Falcon?
I think it might have been the same year, actually.
Okay.
So-
Secondly, about the Harry Potter thing. So I don't want to be on Brian's side. So the thing about it is that when Fantastic Beasts came out, that reignited Potter in the Lego world for the most part, and then we got all the new Harry Potter sets because of Fantastic Beasts, whatever, okay. But the Fantastic Beasts set that came out did push that envelope because they did give us the teeny tiny suitcase that needs to be a full-size suitcase. I believe I've mentioned this point several times to its builder. And they gave us the monsters, the buildable monsters that came in the movie. You got in that. And those monsters were along the lines of Elves quality. They had new pieces. They had new colors for older pieces. And all of those things were wonderful. And I know you're saying, oh, you're basing this all on one set. No, I'm not. I'm basing this on that set and the sets that came after that. Because the quality of the Fantastic Beasts set and the quality of the minifigures that came out with that set line upped the ante big time. That's how we started getting Harry Potter sets that mesh together. Like it's like the Minecraft sets. You can mesh all the Minecraft sets together and have a crazy Minecraft world. You can also do that with the Harry Potter sets that have come out to a limited degree. Like the station and the alley is not going to work with your Harry Potter with your Hogwarts school, right? So, but all of those combined, you got yourself a great big Hogwarts with everything else going on in the world. The quality of how it was built stepped up, and then the crazy guy Justin, who's always in the fantastic T-shirts and button-ups, that micro scale. We're going back to micro scale. That micro scale Hogwarts blew us all out of the water. Because how could you make something so detailed like that, be so small like that, but still feel like a Lego set? But like that would be the next step to from Lego building to authentic model. That's all I got. I would say that Harry Potter needs to be in Hall of Fame, even if it is another IP. They push the boundaries of what would be considered normal building to. Here's more advanced. We know that you guys can build on the same length as this, and we know that you can have more complicated builds, and that's what they did.
I see what you're saying, and Steven just put in the chat, this is something I've been thinking as well, that Hall of Fame should be reserved for non-IP series only, which is kind of, I thought that earlier. I feel like anything, I know we said Star Wars should be in there, but I think you could make an argument that it kind of needs to be non-IP based, because if it's based on an IP, well,
Sure.
That already kind of takes away from it for me. A little bit.
I could
You're
see
right.
that.
I could agree with that too.
Let's agree on at least one of these. I think we can unanimously that between Lego Ninjago movie and Ninjago needs to be Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you kind of have to put Ninjago movie in there as well, just for the simple fact that it is still based around the same thing, and without the Ninjago movie being put into Hall of Fame, then we can't count Ninjago City or Docks, and which essentially did lead on to Ninjago City Gardens.
So amazing.
Ninjago City alone is just, arguably almost if it not maybe not the greatest set ever made, but certainly I think maybe probably top 5 for many people.
Oh yeah,
all-time Lego sets. So that set alone. Certainly, but again, is it Hall of Fame? I don't know.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't think I agree and I disagree about the IP thing, because the IP sets brought us some great stuff and nostalgia and it's memorable and blah blah blah. But Ninjago definitely needs to be up there. As much as I rag on Ninjago and Private and DeBrian and other people, they've done a lot. For
Another one, I think easy Hall of Fame is Modulars.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
No question.
I think the minifigures have to go up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, so if we're not doing IPs, then ideas can't be, right?
I don't
Right.
know, so on minifigures, is that definitely Hall of Fame though? Because it's not like that was the first time we had gotten minifigures.
No, but the variety of figures that you got in those series, you would never ever get in standard Lego City sets or otherwise.
Yep.
So,
And the
And
amount of people who obsess over having
Yes.
every single one of every single series, and the the money that some of them go for is crazy.
Yeah, I love the CMF series for the diversity of the figures, and even if you see people that do vignettes of them all, and people that do 8x8s or 16x16 vignettes, and they stack them all up, and each one figure has its own little scene.
Yeah.
There's just so much that can be done with them. We wouldn't be able to do that without them.
Agreed.
So this is going to be a wacky thing, but Friends should be in Hall of Fame too.
No.
They bridge the gap between boy builders and girl builders and father builders and daughter builders, and they brought families together because, it's Lego building, there's dolls, but like that incorporated a lot of mom and dad and son and daughter time together building those Friend sets.
But again, it's based on I understand that, and it's the products too. It kind of would bother me if Friends were Hall of Fame. I really like Elves. Like, I think Elves is better than Friends personally, but
I agree. I have to agree with you there. I mean, stylistically, definitely, but when you're talking like longevity, Friends has been around
of course,
quite a while, and it's evolved, which is not something that a lot of sometimes lines do, like City.
What about the Lego Movie? I think that's still a solid A, right?
Yeah.
Solid A,
Monster Fighter, solid A.
Yep.
City.
I think City's Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
If City goes Hall of Fame, then Friends has to go Hall of Fame. So I think those two are equal.
Yeah. Sure. I get you. I think this, as it stands, I mean, pretend architecture's an A.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretend Speed Champions is an A.
I'll pretend architecture's in Hall of Fame, but you guys can do whatever you want.
Speed Champions, I don't want to have an A only because there's 16 quadrillion stickers, and
Well, stickers aside, the sets are great. I personally think it should go in A.
What about
That's good.
ideas? Do you think that's achieved Hall of Fame status at this point?
I
Or
think so, but if you're going non-IP,
but we can't
half of
count
them are
people as IPs.
But not every ideas is IP, and the I don't know you have the Voltron up there, but I feel like ideas as a concept is not an IP thing. Do you know what I
But there's
mean?
also a lot of ideas sets that have flopped.
Let me ask.
It's true.
Let me ask you guys a question. Hey, do you guys remember the Lego Ideas ship in a bottle?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, should be in Hall of Fame then.
Why? Based on one set?
No,
I mean, it's an amazing set.
Do you
but
guys
what-
remember Lego Ideas Adventure Time and how suckful that was?
yeah. Do you
But-
know that's an IP and the ship in the bottle wasn't?
Yeah.
there
Do you
have
remember
been there have been misses with ideas for sure, but you've also had some incredibly iconic Saturn V rocket, ship in the bottle, Barracuda Bay. I mean, just some incredibly sets that have become iconic already and will continue to be very iconic sets in the future. And then also, I think maybe we're not factoring in the fact that it brings the community in and lets fans become designers, which I guess we've kind of said you're only basing it on the sets, but to me, all of that taken together, it's Hall of Fame. A number of my top 10 sets are from ideas, so
that's also
I would argue it's Hall of Fame.
well, and also too, like, how many companies do you know that let fans design something that they're going to make into a product? Like, that's pretty singular.
3.
So when I look at the Hall of Fame, right, to me, this would exemplify the company when explaining it to a non-Lego fan. So, like, if somebody were never hearing of the company before, they had some money, and they were like, what Lego things do I need to look into?
Oh, then you
And
have to
that
put,
is it, right?
then you have to put Technic up there. And I say this because and not that maybe I don't need to make this argument, but I say this because as a teacher of Lego STEM classes, I cannot tell you how many conversations I have had with parents. My kid's really interested in the motors and the gears. Like they like building Lego, but this is like a whole nother level. like how do I, how do I get them into it? Is there a set that I can buy? Is there one that includes the pieces? Is there a sampler set? It is probably, of all of the things I got asked about, and granted, yes, I was teaching classes that use those parts, but I got asked about those sets repeatedly by parents. And I think it's an important. It took it from beyond having a play set that you do this with to making something that moves around.
Oh, absolutely.
Brickstar says Hall of Fame Duplo Technic Train Star Wars. Yeah, I didn't include Duplo on here just because I didn't get to it. We already have trains in the form of Lego City.
Yeah, that's what I kind of associate those together as well. So, but yeah, I agree. I think Ideas and Technic should be Hall of Fame. I think both of those. I mean, Brian, by what you were saying about, what is the like iconic things that you're talking to someone who's interested in Lego. What is it that like really embodies the company and the product? I think both of those should be up there.
I would agree.
Technic has probably been one of the longest running themes, right? Back in the 80s when they started with Technic, it was called Technic. Back in the 80s, Lego City was called Town, and then it went to what was the one between Town and Lego City? But that's changed a couple of times, whereas Technic has been solidly Technic from the very beginning. I like, to be honest, Technic is one of my most loathed themes as far as building. No, just as far as building goes, and it's simply because I am no good at building Technic sets. I don't enjoy them. It hurts my fingers. I always make mistakes. I hate pulling them apart to fix the mistakes. It's an ongoing sort of joke on my stream. People send me Technic sets to build because they like to see me suffer. But as a theme, I can appreciate it for what it is. And honestly, as much as it pains me to say it, Technic is almost quintessential Lego Technic for Technic.
It is, absolutely. I think it's when we first got into the hobby, it was one of the first things we gravitated to because movement, and that's what we wanted, how do I make things move?
So with everything on here, we agree that this looks pretty good.
It's a pretty solid list.
I would say so. Biases and everything aside, and
okay. Sorry, I'm getting called out in the chat here by Sean. How do you mess it up? Because they have instructions. Tell me that you've built a Technic set and you've never messed it up.
Exactly,
man.
Tell me.
We just did a group. We just did a group build on our show of the buggy, the off-road buggy, and I think there was like 3 or 4 of us putting it together, and I don't think we did finally get them done by the end of the show, but the amount of mistakes and taking apart on everybody, we all got caught up in certain places. And I think one thing, and I know this is off topic, but one thing I would advocate for is, how they have that Lego app for your tablet that
instructions
has the 3D, and they have the 3D instructions for some models. They 100% need to offer those 3D instructions for Technic so that you can spin that thing around and see where the parts. I think it would up a lot. It would take a lot of the pain out of it. Anyway, that was my little speech.
Absolutely, the Instructions Plus app is amazing. Just to be able to run the model.
So this list is awesome. It's been a fantastic time going through each of these different themes and seeing where goes what. This is what we came up with so far. I'm going to update this after the show is done. So there's actual, the missing holes here, like architecture and everything else. I'll, get a list and get it going. And while you guys were talking, I took a little bit of a liberty with making a small adjustment to the list where clearly the best of all time clearly is
Brian,
Thank you all very much for participating in my list. Thank you. Star Wars 2. Congratulations, Mario.
You didn't just move it up. You created a whole new category.
Made a whole new.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who wants to have it wiped? I'm going to ban you right now. Let's go.
No.
Tragic.
Oh man, no, this was great, Brian. Thanks for taking the time to put it all together. It's definitely fun to chat about this and think about the way that different themes have been perceived over the years and what we each perceive them as. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And it was a lot of time to actually put the images together. Again, I'll update it. All right. So for all you that are like, where's architecture? It'll be there. All right. So you can use that in your own videos or streams among your friends, whatever you want to. It's available on the Tier Maker website. Literally just type into Google tiermaker.com. You'll find the Lego 2021 tier list. And if anything new comes out for this year, I'll probably update it as well. Here's hoping I can add like Legend of Zelda as a sub theme there this year. Who knows?
Can we just acknowledge Brent Cooper's comment there in the chat, because it seems a little bit inflamed there, but
Let's see.
we unanimously decided that IP was not going into Hall of Fame. It is nothing against Star Wars. We all love Star Wars. We put it up there with Harry Potter, but we just didn't put any IP into the Hall of Fame. Okay?
Not for me. It was a vendetta. I did everything I could to make sure Star Wars was even on the list. I still got it going.
Thanks, Jeff. Here I am trying to put out the flames, and
Hold on,
you're
I
just
got some
there with your
gasoline.
blowtorch, buddy.
Well, everybody
Good
was
one,
already
Jeff.
blowtorching it anyways, because they're like, where's Racer? Where's Architecture? Where's Speed Champions? Where's it? So, hey.
I think we can all agree that time what's the theme, Jeff?
Tom Cruise.
Time Cruisers.
Time
It's
Cruisers.
right
I think
next to
Time
Mario.
Cruisers was a big mess.
It's right
Mario.
next to Mario.
Oh, Brian, I think
Hey.
you did a great job. I know what it's like
Yeah.
trying to pull all that stuff together, and it's not easy. So
It
kudos
wasn't.
to you.
The designer
Once,
of Time Cruisers was on acid. Straight up.
once you're like I was in the middle of making the list, and I know like of all these different Lego themes, none of the names people are suggesting, I'm like, oh, I never heard of it. But when you're thinking, I need to name every single Lego theme, it's a lot of Lego themes. There's a lot of they did a lot of stuff over the years. So
I would like
Yeah,
I'd
there's
like
tons.
to just post something in chat real quick. This is the last message that I sent Brian Saviano at 3 a.m. last
okay,
night.
Joshua, end this live stream. We're 3 hours.
Oh, boys. It's not-
Just so that everybody is wondering. Oh, that's the first part. Hold on, let me get the others. There we go. Almost done.
Themes.
All right, Jeff, you use Photoshop next time and you do it. How about
I
that?
don't know how to use Photoshop because I'm old and dumb.
Okay, I think we can all appreciate the work Brian put in. Thank you also everyone else in the stream here for giving your thoughts, hearing your opinions, helping us really put together, I think, the ultimate tier list here. I don't think anyone will ever top this, really, I think is what's happened here today. So good work, everyone. Thank you, everyone in chat, for being very responsive as well. It was great to get your thoughts and see what you all thought as well. So thank you very much for corresponding back and forth as well. We'll be back next week with who knows what more content to bring you. But until then, thanks for watching. We'll see everyone soon.